Alright, so we're gonna start a new character today. This is gonna be a Rune Oppressor. So a dual-wield Aether ranged Oppressor. We're gonna do this like totally fresh start, like basically level 1 to Lokar. And we're playing on 1.2. Patch 1.2, so we have a wait for us ready here, and Thunder exists. You want to pick up this lore node over here. Get yourself a small like XP head start. Click in the corpse, kill these guys, obviously. Yep. And there's level 2. No, not quite yet. One more. There we go. Okay, question now is though, we are gonna be an Oppressor. How do we level? Do we level Necromancer or do we level Oathkeeper until we get the guns that allow us to actually like play dual wield Aether ranged? RF leveling. Okay, the thing is, Oathkeeper leveling is absolute trash early game. I mean, Virus Might is obviously okay, and like Aegis is like somewhat acceptable, but compared to like pretty much all other options, it's just like giga trash. So there's like the other option, Necromancer, right? On this playthrough, not like the last one where we played the Reaper, we don't need to like farm any Makadar weapons, so we don't really care if we're like siding with Common's Chosen or with Death's Vigil. So we don't need to side with like, you know, a specific faction here really. So we can just play Necromancer and don't worry about like being, you know, an outcast for the Common's Chosen. And the best leveling skill early game for Necromancer is just Skeletons. That's just how it is. So yeah, we play Skeletons for a bit. This is, well, at this point, not really a dual-wield pistol build. No Deathwatcher pendant. I need 24 points in RF. That's why the other amulet. Deathwatcher pendant doesn't really give you like damage, to be honest, so eh. Yeah, you can play Skeletons until Ruknik. Or you play Drain Essence and kill yourself from despair after like playing it for 5 minutes. You wanna get the portal, then go back here and rescue Faldas. You can play Bone Harvest at some point. It's not too bad. You can also play Ravenous Earth. It's also not too bad actually. And Ravenous Earth is a better leveling skill. Like I would say around like Act 2, 3. We could spec into RE like even before Krieg already. Skellies, boo. You don't like seeing pets? Don't you guys love pet builds like I do? Skelly mages are super OP, yeah. They have like the fireball AoE. They do like huge damage. Huge damage. Gear, honestly, it doesn't matter at all early, because skeletons just do skeleton things. One farm for skellies. There's one single item that you need to get in Act 1. Other than that, you literally don't need anything. You do like pet builds after trying them? To be fair, like, proper min-max endgame pet builds actually are pretty button intensive. For leveling though, they're mostly walking simulators. If you play like a Maya build as well, then it's also like walking simulator endgame. Well, not as min-max though as some actual good builds, but yeah, still okay, I guess. Now, You wanna obviously kill the guy down here, the boss, and then get this shrine as well. And shrines are a parallel progression system in Grim Dawn. And the first thing that we're gonna go for is, as always, gonna be Jackal. Jackal also gives you some stats for like pets, actually, so it's not even that bad for the skeletons either. No, let me actually... find my link real quick. I'm gonna use Jackal, I think, later on anyway, right? No, was it Vulture? No, actually, yeah, Oppressor will use Jackal. Vulture was on the Paladin version, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, another way you could also play this build is as a Paladin. That is also not too bad, and then you would like start out with like Inquisitor leveling, like Word of Pain. Like the best for early game. But yeah, we decided to go with the Oppressor version, which at least on paper looks better in my opinion when it comes to like, well, like fresh start, no gear. With gear, it's a different story. Yeah, we don't have gear here, so... Gotta move to SR, standing still with real DPS, and you will die eventually. Yeah. You get skeleton HP bar with 1.2. No, that's actually old. That has already always been there, right? You just go here and display pet health bar. That is not a new feature. That has always been there. Now you wanna always look at your bags here. And while I'm proceeding here for the first side quest of the game, which I haven't even picked up yet, to kill Pharos, this guy here, this zombie here. You wanna kill this guy. While I'm doing that, you always want to like scan your bag for searing embers. Right, and once you find a searing ember, you want to use the searing ember and just spam fireballs alongside your skeletons. Remember that you always have to resummon your skeletons every time you put a skill point into the skill. Because, yeah, Grim Dawn hates snapshotting for a reason. So yeah, any snapshotting attempt is being destroyed by... having all pets being resummoned. Yeah, welcome in, and have a hopefully chill and nice sleep, Mr. Louvre Grami, the Lord and Savior. Welcome in. Alright, you wanna remove common items pretty much right away as well, and always show double rare items. White items are absolute trash in this game, they're never used for anything. There's also no reason why this is not ticked by default. It should pretty much always be ticked anyway. Yellow items are actually going to be pretty useless as well at some point, but not quite yet. I don't know. I should probably like actually use Heavels a bit. Because it just deals more damage, like more raw default attack damage for now. Next up we want to move over here to the first bridge at Whitemire. Let's get some XP, okay, level 7, cool. And yeah, you summon skeletons again. And here you want to look for the like hero called, the star mob called Milton Heart. You can spawn either in the first house, the second house, or the third house. There is no 4 house, it's only 3 houses. Okay, so he wasn't in the second one either, so he's gonna be over here. There he is. Your pets like focus him down because he has like regen and heals and it's annoying. There we go. This guy also drops a helmet that is insanely powerful for a soldier. Kinda whatever for this class. Sometimes it can still be like a nice starting helmet for level 12 and higher. Next up, this is actually more important. Another second zombie here for a side quest. And then there's a corpse next to him. This one right here. And this one always drops the same... This one always drops the same item, Carver's Conjuring Bone. And this is what you want. This is what you want to use as your offhand. Once you have a Searing Ember, you put it to this, and that you use this one once you're level 8 and you have, well, enough spirit, which means 99 spirit in this case. We also got lucky to get Final March, our first blue item. Level 14, pair of boots, very solid, like all around generic boots. Giving you like movement speed, Aether, slow rest, physique, defensive ability. No damage, but very solid for like pretty much any character. Yeah, too bad, Workman. Argamel's asking how are melee piercing builds these days? Any good dexterity fighting duelist builds that I've tried? I've not really played a dual wield pierce build in a long time honestly, but Blade Master is pretty solid. Infiltrator is solid too. Dual wield Nightblade plus Inquisitor or Soldier. It's kind of what you want to do. You can also do... what's it called? Tactician, like Soldier Inquisitor. Or I think Dervish actually also works. Like Nightblade and Oathkeeper. Yeah. But yeah, the classic is, I would say, like Blade Master or Infiltrator. So Nightblade plus Soldier or Inquisitor. And Nightblade being like usually like the core of the build. Downloaded 1.2 playtest, fresh start time to make your own garbage build. Nice. Good luck, good luck. GRIMTOOLS is pretty funny about giving you items plus 10, minus 20 levels above you at least early on. Yeah. I think that's fine though. Then you always have like something to like look forward to pretty much. I think that's fine. You wanna keep the gun here, because you wanna use that one alongside your fireball once you can equip fireball. You can throw away all yellows. Yellows don't sell for anything anyway. Summon skeletons again. Yeah. You wanna go into this cave always because of the shrine. This is a devotion shrine, and yeah, devotions are insanely powerful for like character progression. The rest of the cave is useless. We can port back that foggy bank and head towards the next rift gate. It's better than Diablo where you get a legendary of your current level, but it becomes obsolete in like 2 hours. I mean, to be honest, this item is gonna be like obsolete in 2 hours as well. Because like early game, at least you level very quickly. But I get your point, yeah. Now in the Foggy Bank there are 3 spawn locations for this vendor that has been caught and you need to free him, right? This is number 1 over here. Then number 2 we're gonna go walk past as well. And spawn location number 3 would be here on the left side, right? Top left, pretty much. Number 2 is here, right? Top right. So bottom right, check bottom right, check top right, and then chop left, yeah, top left last. 2 rings, very nice, very nice. We also got a marrow band, which is honestly very, very nice for raised skeletons. Kind of lucky find there. This one gives you like what, +2 skeletons and bonus damage for pets. Not bad at all. More resistances. Oh yeah, for gear, I mean, I said like earlier, you don't need any gear at all, and that is kind of true. Let's equip this finally and use Fire Blast as well. Right now we can use Fire Blast. Kind of throw around fireballs. Streamer, aren't you? Devotions, Jackal. Attributes, mostly physique and spirit. Keep in mind though that we are gonna need... Actually no spirit ever, except for the first 3 points here to get like the offhand. And now we only wanna put physique and cunning, I think, because... well, physique, because we're gonna play a dual wield ranged character that won't have too much HP, so you get more HP from physique than from cunning and spirit. And so actually some cunning, because while cunning doesn't scale Aether damage, cunning, well, is required by the gun to have. And my current theory craft has 0 points in spirit, 28 in cunning, and 79 in physique. So keep in mind that once you get the gun, you will have to put some points in cunning. Or, well, ideally you want to have like the points in cunning before you have the gun. I don't really know like how many points in cunning you're gonna need for the first level of the gun though. I should probably check that out before going there. But another way you can also do it is to just like save attribute points. You don't have to allocate them. Just save them. They're not as powerful as like skill points or devotion points anyway. So it's fine to like save some of them and rather invest your skill points into, well, skills. And like, I like to put at least 1 point in the bar at all times. So you never like, you know, become too squishy. Because you generally want to have like at least 100 HP per level. Ideally more. Especially in hardcore. And you can see I have like technically not enough HP right now. But it's fine, it's only like level, what, level 9. It's only Act 1, that's fine at this point. We're gonna get more HP later. Another resistant cap, eh? Lightning Rest, Poison Rest. Okay, I mean always do shrines. Third shrine is gonna give you the Juicy Note and Jackal, 6% total speed, which is attack, casting and movement speed. So that's just amazing. Alright, Shambler down. And we got an amulet from him. Oh yeah, these have like 100% chance to drop now. With the 1.2 patch. And the Shambler's amulet has fire damage, so your fireball is gonna do more damage. Don't throw away the salt bag, you will need it later. For like a secret quest. So yeah, don't throw it away yet. Oh yeah, this one has casting speed. That's nice. We can spam our fireballs quicker. Launch season 6 now. We need the 1.2 patch out first. And then we're gonna like still need like tons of time to, you know, make season 6 actually work well on the new patch. Okay, 1 point here. Every point in the second thing of Necromancer, of the skeleton tree rather, is gonna give you more summons. More skeletons. And we're gonna have 5 skeletons. And we got some mages there already. I mean, they're just like stole everything pretty much. When it comes to these guys here, like these smiths, honestly, it doesn't matter too much who you choose on normal. I mean, Dunkin' Donuts can craft a fire strike pistol, so if you're playing a purifier, that one is nice. But other than that, generally, at least definitely for endgame, Angrim has the better smith bonuses, he's just a better smith. But Duncan has like some unique crafts that are pretty nice for a purifier, for example. Santa is clearly not gonna destroy, not done with destroying Grim Dawn just yet, needs more time for patch 1.2, yeah. True, he needs to like destroy the game even harder. The Omerga's Pokemon. Okay, next up, another cave, another shrine. Not all caves have shrines, obviously, but this one has one again. The Burial Cave over here. It's a little bit, like, confusing that this one is also called the Burial Cave, when the first one was the cave at Burial Hill. And this one is also called the Burial Cave, as if there's only one cave under a burial hill. But yeah, it is what it is. You just click on this and then you have the shrine and you have another devotion point. You remove yellow gear, you equip green gear, at least at first, and then at some point you're actually gonna look at gear properly. But not yet. Yo, Sunny Dusk, welcome on. The GRIMTOOLS doctor is back. Yes, I am back. The doc is back. Okay, now here you get another skeleton, right, at 3. So we're gonna put 2 points here and 1 point in mastery bar. And we will have even more skeletons. Even more skeletons. Not all caves are shrines, but all shrines are caves. And it's not true either, really. Honestly, this kind of build had like massive energy problems in the past. I mean, it still does have energy problems in a way, but since energy pots are infinite now and you don't need to buy them anymore, it's way less like annoying to play this build now. It was already like one of the strongest, or even like the quickest, strongest like early game leveling build in the entire game. And it just got even better, I guess. Obsidian Seal, and we got a triple rare. Glacial of the Abomination. Interesting. You have these like new sound effects to alert you of like double rare affixes, and you have this like nice icon here at the start to like alert you that this is indeed a most infrequent and thus not like any other green item, but has actually like an additional implicit stat on it, which is not just like one stat, it's more like 50 stats. So it's basically like a legendary, honestly, like power-wise, or like a blue item at least. So yeah, keep an eye out for those items. They can be like really strong and build defining as well.
I've been expecting you, human.
Yo, Danny, thanks for the prime. Welcome and welcome in. Welcome into the bloomers. Much appreciated support. Having to sell extra potions constantly after playing was also annoying. Yeah, true. True. I'm playing on streamer client. Crate has increased the drop rate of double rare items actually on this patch. So there is generally less loot, like they have reduced quantity but have increased the quality. So if an item drops, it is more likely to be a like double rare item now instead of before. Also you have these like neat little like totems here, which are basically just like an XP boost, because yeah, if you have skeletons, they are a pushover anyway. And they just kill them for you anyway. Okay, what are my rings here? This one is no res. We keep the res. Mighty of the Flesh Hulk, I mean log in. That's not bad. Maven's Wit. Sure. Cruel Edge, whatever. What is this? Okay. Level 14 for Marrow Band, right? Yeah, this one gave us another level, right? 1, 2, 3. You want to put all 3 points in Undead Legion, because only then you get another summon. You don't want to like put points into Undead Legion without getting another summon, honestly. Like, that's just a waste of points. Like, absolute waste. How convenient. Yeah, it's the patch, it's not my client. What do you mean? Okay, we got a medal as well. Nice. Now, obviously this area is something you should like explore thoroughly on a fresh start playthrough, right? This entire like Burridge Village and like some other caves on the side. There are like tons of lore. The lore is pretty good in this game. Tons of stuff you can do. You can explore. Tons of stuff. And you should do it at least once, I think. Like, at least once to, like, know what the game is about, how the maps look like. But once you know where to go, from this rift you always go, like, top left to the docks. Because you want to do another side quest here. And in Grim Dawn you can pretty much always do side quests before like accepting side quests. And this one is no exception. I do have some quests, but honestly this is cleaner. I mean, obviously you need this when you don't know where to go, but... okay, so here there's 3 chests that are a little bit more orange. Like this one, right? That has fabric in it. You want to like collect 3 fabrics. They have like random spawn locations. Semi-random. There's no true random in Grim Dawn after all. Yeah, once you have all 3, then you're done here at the abandoned waterfront. Here's number 3. There we go. Another Reaper in the making, yeah. Reaper one trick. How did you know? Okay, another skeleton. And we got 7 skeletons. I'm gonna wait until I have 6 at least to do the totem. So when I see totem, click totem, right? Hello? Yeah. I mean... Click blueprints, Soul's Touch. Oh, that's pretty nice, actually. I have no special client, guys. Trust me, please. This is just default client, I swear. The office of the Magistrate of Burridge has received increased reports of global activity in the area. Global attacks are on the rise. Yes, yes. Okay, then over here you want to go to the shrine here, and if you get the unlucky blocker here, then you go here, and if you get the second unlucky blocker like me here, then you got the unluckiest spawn ever, and you have to go through this cellar over here, which, well, it's a cellar, it's a musty cellar, has really nothing of real interest in here, I think. Is there even any lore in here? Is there like any reason ever to go here? I think it just exists to like piss you off when you get the unlucky spawn like I just did. Is there lore here? No, no lore, nothing. Hello? Nothing? You can get dynamite here. I'm pretty sure that's a lie. I'm pretty sure that's not correct. A bounty target can spawn here? Oh yeah, that must be it. Okay, time for Milton's Cask, level 12, right? Is correct? Did you actually get... Okay, maybe it's like... Do you get dynamite here? Like, I thought you cannot get dynamite until like level... I mean, until you're in Act 2. Maybe you need to be like a high level to get it. I've like actually like never seen dynamite in there. If I won drop last week, interesting. Maybe it's like level gated as well. Maybe it's a bug, yeah. Maybe you should report that instead of regenerator. Nah, I mean regenerator is also slightly bugged, I guess, so it's fine. And then you want to go into the cellar here, and at least like the one ethereal regenerator is bugged, right? And then in here you want to rescue this inventor, another side quest. Follow me, follow me, follow me. SSF is a solo self-found. Or you could also like say CSF, honestly. Like character self-found. It just means that like I'm not using anything from stash. I'm not using any blueprints that I found on other characters. This is a total new fresh start. I should probably call it CSF, maybe not SSF, to be honest. Thinking down makes more sense. Just like call it like fresh start, I don't know. We equipped the Marrow Band for, well, obvious reasons, right? To get 2 more points on skeletons. Now skeletons are even stronger, deal more damage. Imagine being a new player, find a dynamite, farming it to go to East Marsh level 20. Oof. Yeah, don't go to East Marsh level 20. Don't do that. Equip your medal once you can, if you find one. If you don't find a medal, go to the shop and buy one. Okay, once you're at Warden Cellar, maybe... Right, maybe it's time to stop zooming and go back to Devil's Crossing. And instead just hand in quests. Like, this guy doesn't even know we have killed the reanimator yet. Okay, now we talk to this guy over here, giving him Aether crystals for a skill point. Another skill point, pog pog. We rescued this vendor, right? He was the one that was caught earlier. The captive vendor. Oh yeah, we have blue boots to equip, there we go. Which make us not have enough cunning, okay, cool. That's why you wanna like save some points, right? In case you're like gear swapping and you're losing stats. You wanna be able to react. Talk to this guy. Talk to Direne because we found the cultist orders next to the Burbage Village Rift Gate,
What do
right?
you want?
I mean, we can just kill him. I'd rather watch him get killed by skeletons. Talk to this guy. We have killed Milton Hart, so we have his amulet that we give to the sister. Found Algrim. He's gonna cook some soup for us if we would need soup. So soup, what does soup do? Soup replenishes your constitution, right? If you're running out of this like yellow mist above your health bar, which automatically like regenerates your health out of combat. If you have like out of this, right, you can always go back here and get some soup to replenish your stuff there, right? Like your constitution. We handle these side quests with the zombies that we killed, and then now here, this is the most important one, we give this guy scrap and we go to the cellar. And doing like completing the cellar is gonna give us another bag. That's gonna be huge. For skill points, we don't need any more skills, right? We have skeletons, which just destroy the entire game anyway at this point. So we can like put points down here, it's fine. Just like put points on the mastery bar is never really wrong. I mean, we could also put points in our second class now. Because this setup alone is kind of like gonna carry us a long way already anyway. And I think 15 points is the right point here to stop at, because we want Spectre Binding. We want... Okay, so we want Spectre Binding for HP and flat Aether damage at OA. Once we're shooting, we want Spectre Wrath for like resistance reduction. And then you want Reaping Strike and Necrotic Edge for weapon pull skills. Eventually we will also want like Soul Harvest over here. And Harbinger of Souls over here. But that's more a mid-game thing. Not really something we want like early on normal difficulty, I guess. So... it's probably fine to start putting points in Oathkeeper, because we want to get like 15 points here as well. You want to get RF, Righteous Fervor, as your main damage ability. And you want also Consecration for attack speed. And then also Smite for a weapon pull skill, and Wire Smite as a movement skill. Yep. And then, okay, I guess you also want Rebuke, right, for flat physical damage. So I guess you go for Rebuke before Soul Harvest. So you're gonna go like 15, then 25 Oathkeeper, and then start putting points in Necromancer again, I think. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do it like that. You could also go like for 32 Oathkeeper first to like get another point in Tectonic Shift to get more range and less cooldown on your movement ability. Or like a point in Clarity of Purpose. That's not like super high priority. Anyway, until then we watch skeletons kill stuff and we throw some fireballs. Get another shrine here. Oh, skeletons are getting sundered. Such noobs. Why does the sound cue play when like your pets get hit though? That's kinda yikes. I don't like that, to be honest. You can... I mean, I didn't get hit, right? Because I dodged over the wave. I jumped over the wave, right? But the skeletons get hit and then like the sound plays. It's a little annoying. I mean, I guess fuck pets, right? Another reason to not play pets, I guess. Just use skeleton evade ability. True. Just... Dude, if they make like a command evade, right? Like instead of like pet attack, you can like, do pet evade. That would be kind of sick. Physical Oppressor is the goal. Aether. Aether Oppressor is the goal. Okay, I will end the Warden's life. Let's go. We have another second bag. And we have the portal at the Warden's cellar, right? Also, after the 2 points of Jackal, you probably want to put points in Spider for attack speed. Yep, that seems also fine with what I have here on my... Okay, actually, wait, we're playing still pets right now, right? So for pets, I guess you actually finish Jackal because it gives you like attack speed for pets. And then... I mean, I guess you can still get like the cast speed in Spider first. This one here for like more fireballs. The game mostly goes from south to north, mostly from west to east. I mean, it's still mostly east, north, but yeah. You go like... Okay, so the game is usually like either northeast or northwest, right? The mod is also like northeast for the most part. And then like the later areas are like northwest a bit. I don't know, I think the mod also like pretty much always goes north. Just like sometimes more east, sometimes more west. But overall it's also always north. I would dare to say at least. I mean, aren't there like some maps in the base game where you also like sometimes go like south or like east? At least like for some parts of the game. Like some parts of the level. Like caves and dungeons, yeah. Oh, what the fuck am I doing? This was already open. Hello? Why am I circling around here? What the hell? Okay, we stop at 15, right? That's what I said, and now we put points in Oathkeeper, I guess. Okay. Let's do that. East March goes east. Yeah, true. East March goes east, indeed. How do I try out the 1.2 patch? 1.2. Wait, no, that's a changelog only. You wanna go to... Okay, if you are on Steam, you can play it. If you are on GOG, you can't. You wanna go to public test discussion here. You wanna go to the public testing fuck. You wanna go to, like, Steam, right? Follow these instructions. Enter this access code, citybuilder-lead. This one right here, right? And then you can download the playtest and leave feedback on the forums if you want. When is the patch gonna come officially out? Be officially out? I would assume in October, but rather late October. We'll see, we'll see. It's ready when it's ready. I mean, there's some like secret areas here, right? If you want like some more like loot and story and do the exploration game, I guess. Exploration game. Yeah, Evade is so nice now. I think it's I think the stats on the Evade as it is right now is maybe like a bit too OP for early game. Like I can see them like maybe like slightly nerfing it a bit again, and then having you like, you know, get ways to upgrade your Evade with like Fangs of Astakarn. I don't know, like similar to how you can get like better rune augments and so on. But I don't know, I mean I rather have this Evade than whatever Mario jump we had last time, so this is way better for sure. We're gonna get the cask speed first, right, because we are still using fireballs. We're not attacking yet. No pistol pew pew yet. What is going on here? What are you doing, YouTube? Yeah. For late game it feels just right as it is now. Which, well, yeah, makes me think that it shouldn't be as strong early, because they plan on giving you ways to make it stronger with Fangs of Astakarn, right? So if it already feels pretty much as good as it can be for endgame, then maybe there's not like enough room anymore to make it better for endgame without making it like Giga OP. But also, I mean, I could also see Zentai putting values right now in this iteration of the test patch that like resembles what you can get later, so that like people get a feel for it, and he gets a feel for like how much people are gonna like the current iteration as well. It's all a numbers game at this point. The animation itself feels good. It looks good. It doesn't look like weird anymore. So it's from this point on, it's just like a numbers game, and like a something that Crate and Zentai have to decide like how they want the upgrade path for the skill to be like. Mario jump is fixed. Yes, you're like dashing forward now, kinda. And it's still a bit jumpy, but it's way better than before. It's still like a bit Mario, but yeah, not as bad as before. The like large range that looks a little like fine for endgame, but like a little weird early to be honest. Lore, let's go. Lore gives XP. In-game and in real life. Yeah, I agree. Like I think the 8 meters they had before would be like perfect for, you know, like level 1. Like whatever you get like at level 1. For endgame the current one feels really good though. So yeah, I can see them giving us like upgrade paths that start at values that have the value from last iteration of this patch, and I don't know, like ending up somewhere with the values that we have this patch or even stronger. Anyway, Warden Krieg, I mean, he's gonna get bullied by these skeletons anyway, right? Yep. And monster frequency being 100% drop chance now means you always get Warden's Judgment. And we even got Warden's Judgment of Binding, which is more pet stats. So yeah, I mean, skeletons are even more OP now. They're like giga OP now. What the shit. It's crazy. Okay. Time for Act 2, I guess. Now, starting with Act 2, you generally wanna make sure that you are using a component in every single slot. If you are not using a component in every single slot after Act 1, you're kinda like shitting your pants in real life. But there's no like need to turbo craft stuff yet necessarily. However, I'm gonna show like what you can craft nicely. Like anti-venom sword, for example, is a very nice like poison rest component that you can put in your belt. I mean, you can put it anywhere, but it's best on belt because flat armor on belt is global armor, so it's the most efficient on belt. You can put something like purified salt or imbued silver on your weapons. Right, boom, more kills and bleed rest right there. You can even do a what's it called? Fire damage. You can do flint core bolts to get a greater fire blast, so you can spam even better fireballs. You can do scaled height to increase your armor absorption, because that's only like 70% by default in this game, which is kind of low. I mean, armor absorption being 70% means that your armor only has 70% effectiveness, basically. Then early game you can like pretty much put polished emeralds and everything all the time. This would also like eliminate any kind of like early game attribute problems that you will have. And you get so many of these anyway, you can just like delete them later, it's fine. Nobody's gonna miss them. For shoulders you could craft like another scaled hide. However, I'm not gonna put like scaled hide in a yellow piece of shoulders which have like nothing. It's just a waste of materials, to be honest. I can put this one here, I guess. This one has vitality resistance. Now for boots, you kind of want to either craft something or just save, or like wait until you get Mark of the Traveler. And for gloves, you want to use something that resistances as well. Or later on like attack speed, of course. However, we don't have anything like that yet, so I'm gonna leave it open as well for now. Okay, we can remove this one, right, the normal Searing Ember, and put our Flint Core bolts on this, and now we have a greater Fire Blast. More fire, more fire. We could also craft a Relic, actually. And now I have pretty bad movement speed. And there's a relic you can craft after killing Warden Creek, because you're gonna have at least like one brain. Hopefully at least also one in real life. And you can always craft an Equilibrium, right? This one has Elemental Dress and movement speed. And it needs one more level. Okay, yeah, we're almost there. And then, that's actually a good point. Why not Isaac's shoulders? I was gonna exactly mention that right now. So if you haven't found like any good shoulders, right, you can always go to a certain, well, kind of like secret spot. It's around Foggy Bank, I think. And if you hug the, like the way to the cave here to the west, but you just proceed further down this this edge of the map, pretty much. Then you will eventually get to the Foggy Bank. I mean, not the Foggy Bank, like a secret spot where a guy called Isaac had his stash underneath a stump. Here it is. And this one will always drop these like Isaac's spoilers. And then you just equip them, right? Because they're probably gonna be better than whatever you found up until this point. And now we can put scaled hide into those shoulders. That seems good. Also, I probably should have not put a component in a yellow belt either. Like, what the fuck am I doing, right? Another thing is, you also found probably like some of these like Slith necklaces, right? I have 3 of them, for example. And there's a guy at Whitemire, if you go here to the left, to the west as well. You can also talk to the guy first for free XP. The Isaac guy. Yeah, if you find him, then you can do that as well. It's not like that important though, to be honest. If you give him like 3 necklaces, you're gonna get a ring, the Slith Primal Ring. And this one also has like pretty nice resistances, so if you know, don't have like anything else that's like good for resistances, then you can always like use this one. It is arguably worse / better than a Veoth Ring. Or if you don't find Marrow Band and you will play it like this, right? That's also okay. But yeah, we're level 18 now, so we could also just use this Obsidian Seal that I found. I don't think I'm gonna do it though. Nah, whatever. I don't wanna like play with too many random drop items, to be honest. Okay, just get the Poison Dress here from the belt. And we can move over to Act 2. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna save attribute points. Just put points down here in the bar. And for some reason I have not enough scrap because I crafted too many items. You can, if you don't have scrap, check vendors if they have scrap. Okay, that's 5 out of 6 scrap. And I guess since we don't have more scrap, we have to actually go to the old dump real quick and collect some scrap there. Oops. just started playing the game 1 hour into my stream and your brain is already maximum overflowing with new information. Yeah, you can always rewatch this on YouTube. I'm gonna put this one on YouTube soon. And you can pause YouTube whenever you want. Wait, did the junk pies not drop scrap anymore when you're like over-leveled? It's weird. No way, right? Maybe the den still has some scrap here for me. There we go. Some scrap on here. Take a dump to pick some scrap, yep. Okay, also another thing before going to Act 2, right? You wanna speak to this guy, to the emissary. And go to Forgotten Gods. Now there's a slightly hidden thing over here. More information overload for you, right? This one is like, whatever though, you don't really have to know about this, but there's always a guaranteed legendary here, which is a level 50 item, which obviously at this point is useless for you. But it's an interesting item. It's a totally normal shield. It's totally a shield. So, yep, we are here to set a shield and some other green crap. You always pick up lore, read the lore to get XP. If you actually read it, you also get XP in real life. We wanna do this ritual here, right? How many hours do I have in Grim Dawn? Should I check the exact number at this point? I can check. Uh, 7,192.3 hours. And counting. I'm such a nerd. Yeah, I know, right? Fuck. Okay. Once you've done this, you want to go to Conclave again and talk to this guy, right?
I could hear the battle.
Ah, yes. And then you want to choose a faction. Now, depending on which faction you choose, you can buy their movement augment runes right away. Right, you can check them out here. First tab. For example, Emblem of Focus Rage or Emblem of the Riftstalker. And the other two faction vendors also have other rune augments. I'm gonna choose Dreek here, but choose whichever rune augment you like personally the most. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm gonna play a Rift Tear, and honestly I'm gonna buy some more, because whenever you switch to metal you're gonna have to reapply this anyway. Also we found Explorer's Cover. Well, Streamer RNG on, I guess. This one gives you bonus XP, so you just equip it. And now you also have another skill here, right? You have this, and this, you can have double evade. Like you have evade and teleport. Does Steam count the hours played through Season Launcher? Yes. Steam does. GOG does not. Interesting. Yeah, Steam does actually. Just get the best gear for leveling? Okay. I mean, if I get it, right, I'm gonna have to point out it's good and then... Yeah, most of the time I'm gonna equip it. I don't want to like equip too much stuff, but yeah. Here we are. Enchantress Insignia, eh? Level 50 Mark of the Dreadblade incoming. Okay, this guy, I mean, let's just save him, sure. If you kill him, you actually get a torch. Like a fire torch. Which is honestly not that bad if you like playing a fire build early game. But we're playing pets at this point, so we wanna like use Warden's Judgment anyway with like for skeletons, right? So it's okay, we don't need a torch. Want to pick up this quest, then you want to go down here to this cave or another shrine. Another shrine, another shrine. Yeah, torch is unethical, right? That's why we're not using it. Instead we're using this totally balanced Warden's Judgment. To be honest, we are already like playing the right damage type at least, because Warden's Judgment is converting physical damage to Aether damage on all my skeletons, right? So in a way, we are already playing an Aether build starting pretty much now, right? It's pet Aether damage at this point, but still Aether damage. Oh yeah, Torch also gives you more light radius, right? That's nice. Light radius build one. Alright, Isaiah. Okay, depending on whether or not you want to buy pots from him later, you want to take his profits or not. If you don't take his profits, he's going to be a nice guy to you later and actually say you like additional, well, not like HP pots, but like resistance pots. So that's a pretty decent thing to have, to be honest. And now we can even use Virus Smite. Now we have Virus Smite, Teleport, Evade. And people say this game is slow. I don't know, man. I mean, okay, it's, to be fair, a little slow compared to like PoE zoominess maybe, but I don't know, it's not like that slow. If you know what skills to pick and how to play them. Wait, the cave has a back entrance? Okay, in here you just want to get some dynamite, which you're gonna get over here next to Balthazar. Balthazar can be a somewhat actually scary boss in Elite and Ultimate, or like in Veteran, but if you have skeletons, I mean, you're playing a walking simulator anyway, right? You are not playing the actual game really that much. Zoom, 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 jump, jump, jump. Zoomer's molding over movement speed cap, yeah. And just press like 3 different buttons instead of like having high movement speed. Much more friendly. Much more controller friendly especially. But hey. Fuck. To be fair, Evade like sometimes gets stuck in the environment still. Not sure that's gonna change or intended. The other movement skills don't really get stuck that much. But like in combat, Evade feels smoother, and I mean Evade is like primarily designed to be an in-combat skill, whereas the others are like designed to be like, you know, out of combat, or I don't know, like halfway in combat, halfway out of combat skills. You want to go down to this wasp nest here. There isn't really a quest attached to this, but also there is a quest attached to this, because there is a quest that requires you to have 3 royal jelly. And you only get the royal jelly in these caves, really. Like in these nests, rather. It is what it is. Yep. It is what it is. There's 1 jelly. Zoomer's a jelly. Run a proxy stain. Okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Jump, jump, jump. Good night, Lenny. Thanks for watching. Bitch, bitch. Probably a habit of full clearing maps is not a good habit. But when you see an enemy, you can't resist. Honestly, if you're like new to this game, it's totally fine. Like, please, if you're playing this game for the first time, fully clear all maps. Fully clear all maps, kill every single enemy, so that you know every single corner of all maps, because this game has fixed maps that are very well done, honestly, with like many secrets. Well, if you want to know where to go, you need to also know where to not go in the future, right? So, and you're never like, you will never feel like it's useless to go somewhere where you don't have to go really in this game, because there's always gonna be like a chest or like a lore note at least. There's always gonna be like some kind of reward. It's not like in Last Epoch where there's like 5 billion like ways to go somewhere and then there's nothing there. This game there is always gonna be at least something there. Okay, now the main reason why I'm like kind of like zooming around a bit here more than usual is, even though this is supposed to be a beginner guide, we're not playing what I want to play really, right? This is not what this guide is going to be about. We're playing some filthy pets here that just, I don't know, like obliterate all masters of all pits at this point in the game at least. There we go. Now, these guys here in the pit always can drop the Brawler's Distinction, which is honestly a really, really nice metal early game. And even mid-game to just like fix your resistances, your CC resistances, more specifically to be honest. So this is very nice. We put this Rift Augment here again, we have our Rift Tear back, and we can put another like component there, I guess Corpse Dust again. It also has an anti-regen proc, that's true. So like if you're fighting regenerator heroes, then yeah, you can apply this debuff. Right, the Brawler's Exhaustion. It's pretty nice. Jump, 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 jump. How can skellies be filthy if their bones are bleached? Good point. Checkmate me, I guess. What can I say? It is what it is. Now, you want to make sure to destroy at least 3 of these outlaw forges here. If you don't have the quest, make sure to count the forges. Skill Disruption, Wait, did they fix Health Pot and Evade being affected by Skill Disruption? I think I just got Skill Disrupted and these skills were not on cooldown. So it turns out that Health Pot, Energy Pot and Evade is now unaffected by Skill Disruption. That's cool. Count the forges to go to sleep at night. Just count like jumping forges that jump over a fence, yes. Zero idea how to level a character, just running around, what happens happens. To be fair, that is an okay approach to Grim Dawn, like you can do that. It will just take like a long time to get through the game, and eventually it's not gonna work, of course. But normal difficulty at least is like easy enough, so to say, that you can pretty much play whatever you want. Is it optimal? No. Is it fun? I think for the first couple playthroughs it can be fun. But eventually it's gonna be more fun to try to optimize your builds and play something that is maybe still like a certain theme that you want to play, of course. You always want to do that. But at the same time also you want to play that theme in like the best way possible usually. Also talk about devotion points. We should maybe like put points into the spider or actually get turtle tortoise. So turtle is a very, very nice defensive proc. Pretty much OP for hardcore and softcore. Also not bad, not as important though in softcore as in hardcore, but still good. And yeah, I'm going for that next because I don't really like need the notes here at this point. And I do want 4 blue for Widow. Right, I want to aim for Widow next, which needs green and blue. So Spider's gonna give me like 6 green, and this is gonna give me 3 blue. So I can just put like another point in Crossroads here, then I have 4 blue for Widow as well. Tutel proc, yes. The sources of percent weapon damage 2x skills stack. Yes. Yes. Oh, dynamite, nice. before your build clicks, it takes a long time. Yeah, that's why I have like this series of like builds that can click without needing gear. Or like that can click with gear that you can just like guaranteed get within like 5 minutes. At least like within 5 minutes of getting to the point in the main campaign where you get that gear. Like this one is also gonna be one of those, right? Like these builds that you can play like as a fresh start, with no gear needed from items, like from other characters. And once you have a solid character like this, you can use that to farm gear for actual stronger endgame builds that need gear. And then you can figure those out yourself, or look up one of many guides by myself or other like people from the forum as well. Like the forums have generally, I would argue, the best build guides for endgame as well. There are some decent builds slash guides as well, like off forum, but honestly, like pretty much everything that you find on Facebook or Reddit is just hot garbage compared to like the average build on the forums. On the forums, it's also still like differs a bit like from author to author. But yeah. Okay, we need to actually like resummon some skeletons against this guy, because skeletons have this tendency, like all pets, to just like stand still in AoE on the ground, and Crowley summons lots of like Aether ground AoE. It's actually nice to have him follow you, and then the skeletons, so that like he doesn't stack the Aether ground too much, and your skeletons can just like attack him while he's running after me. Now over here, don't forget to check out this room, right? By default, it's gonna be a little bit harder to find. There's like laboratory here behind the boss room, and in here you get the option to either destroy the crystal or keep part of the crystal for yourself. If you keep part of the crystal for yourself, you get an Aether cluster, which is like a panic button that, well, has 75% damage absorption for 8 seconds. So in softcore, I've never used it ever, but in hardcore you always want to have it on your bar, and you always want to like play around that item existing. It's kind of like a staple of hardcore. Just like a panic button for every single build. Those elemental pistols from the mod, they were an awesome thing. Too bad you couldn't make it work against ultra bosses. I do not respect Pharma. I mean, Pharma is like... I feel like super bosses are most of the time like balanced around Pharma as well in a way. Like, it's okay to be a drug addict and like drink all the ointments, use all the cocaine. I mean, what? In-game, of course. In-game only. Well, second hive. We're gonna get the swarming hive going here. Get some more royal jellies. Royal jelly, royal jelly. To be honest, after Chrono, you should probably go back to like the camp and like hand in some items. Yeah, let's just do it right now. After clearing this cave. This hive, rather. This is a nice amulet for Inquisitors, the Ultra Proxys thing. Really, really good, actually. If I was playing the Paladin version of this build, and I was playing with Inquisitor secondary instead of Necromancer, then I would be using this item right here. It is also a monster frequent from a boss, so by definition of a monster frequent from a boss in 1.2, you have a 100% chance to get it. Which, well, makes it a very nice thing to plan around as well. With a burning hand, the one-hander here. There will be more damage from my fireball, but, well, skeletons are my main damage now. We also found soiled trousers, the best trousers in the game, eh? Reddit's favorite. We can poop some pants, let's go. Let's poop some pants. To be fair though, these have higher resistances and more armor. So yeah. Goodbye, poopy pants. Reddit in shambles. I mean, this is casting speed because of celerity suffix. Sure, let's use it. We wanna take out the scaled height with this inventory. Keep add-on. Put it here. And then we put like corpse dust here, I guess. And now we finally found something with resistances for the gloves. We found a unholy inscription giving us vitality and bleach resistance. You can use that in gloves. This one you don't need to save, it's like whatever. You get enough polished emeralds anyway. Just sell that. You might notice I've actually kept the troll bone crusher from the troll in Oracovia. I mean, you can also sell it, that's not like a big deal. But you can also keep it in stash because you need it for crafting at some point. Maybe you will need it for crafting. Maybe. We're just gonna push for Rebuke here for now. And once we have the pistols, we're gonna take out the points from Necromancer, from the skeletons. Push points to RF and Consecration, and then like Spectral Binding, Spectral Wrath, and these weapon poliskas as well. But until then, you can just push for Rebuke, because actual Rebuke is also working on skeletons. Like, it's an aura, right? This Presence of Virtue is an aura. So you will also get physical damage on your skeletons, which my Scepter right now converts to Aether. And if you're playing actually this build, at this point in the game, if you want more damage, then you could play Wrath Stones instead of Imbued Silver, but I think we have enough damage for now. That's fine.
Keep your weapon.
Okay, destroy the fortress, killed that guy as well. Give this guy the Anus of Arcovia. The Anus of Arcovia. And this guy gets the Royal Jelly. This lady rather. Now we have 12 attribute points to allocate. I can just keep on keeping them, that's fine. Okay, we proceed through the Undercity via Twin Falls. Jump, jump, jump. Jump, 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 jump. This is ridiculous now. There's a shrine here, don't miss out on the shrine. Shrines are arguably more important than literally anything else. Because devotion points are insanely strong. Okay, I mean, to be fair, items are more important. Like getting the right monster frequency for your build is more important eventually, but at this point, not really. I mean, at this point, we can't get the items yet, so. So, yeah. You don't really need the side quest, it just exists. But it's okay. Okay, now we go down into the Undercity. Yo, Zero, welcome. Sorry for asking. No, don't ever be sorry for asking anything. The stream exists so that you guys can answer, rather ask questions and I can answer. On GRIMTOOLS it says AOM and Forgotten Gods. Does it mean that I can only get these items in the expansion acts, or do I have, or that you only need to buy those expansions? So it means that you have to buy those expansions, but it does not mean that they can only drop in those areas. You can get them, well, unless it's a monster frequent, like unless it specifies where it's being dropped from in the GRIMTOOLS, you can get them anywhere. They're still a random drop. You can get wherever you want. And yeah, you just have to have those expansions bought and installed, and then the item is added to the global drop table basically, and you can get it wherever you can find random items, like literally everywhere, right? Now in the Arcovian Undercity you want to like click on these lecterns to get like 3 of these forgotten passages. It's like another like small side quest, which gives you another lore node in the end and also like some more XP. And the lore node of course also gives you more XP. Then also you want to kill like these 3 oligarchs. The guy right here. Naren Kur. No, not Naren Kur. What's it called? Lolas Vagra? No, not Lolas Vagra. Fuck. Lolas Vagra is the second one. Rowena Kur is the third one, right? And Naren Kur is another one that's not an oligarch. Oh well. What you can do once you found this like exit, you leave a portal inside, then you go outside, get the portal, and then go inside again to your personal portal. Fuck, what's the name? I'm triggered now. Okay, where are the quests? Old Scars. Nomos Dread. There we go. Nomos Dread. Yeah, right. Right. That's the first guy. Apparently yours bought base Grimdawn. Does she need the expansions to play with you, or can I play with her despite not owning the expansions? So if you want to play with her with your current characters that you made in the expansions, then she would have to buy the expansions as well to be able to play with you. What you can do is you can disable your expansions in Steam, for example. You can disable the expansions and then you can play. Well, then you are in vanilla, and she's in vanilla as well, right, in the base game. But then you would also have to make a new character, right? Like, once a character is in an expansion, you can, like, basically... You can upgrade your characters from base game to AOM, from AOM to Forgotten Gods, from base game to Forgotten Gods, but you cannot, like, downgrade your characters. That does not work. So once you've made a character in the, like, with the expansions, you cannot use that character for a downgraded version of the game anymore, but you can downgrade the game to base game only, and you can then make a new character and play with her on the base game. So either you do that, or you just tell her to get the expansion because the game is awesome anyway, right? But yeah, I can like understand people being like, I want to check out this game first, and then if I like it, I'm gonna buy the expansions later. And that's totally legit, and I mean, that's like why the game and its expansions are also set up the way they are. And you save edit tools for this? I'm not sure, I've never tried that. I mean, I have tried save edit tools for like moving characters from mods into the base game and from the base game to mods. But I've not tried moving a character from like a expansion to the base game. I have not tried that yet. So I don't know, maybe it works. I could see it being a thing, I could see it working maybe, but I'm not sure, I've never tried it. I mean, if she wants to enjoy the game, okay, like, the thing is, like, if she's gonna play the game longer than, like, Act 1, then she needs the expansions. It's like, I don't know what to compare it even to, like, playing Grim Dawn without expansions is like playing Diablo 2 without a lot of destruction, right? It's even worse, honestly. Like, Grim Dawn expansions add even more to everything than, like, LOD did to Diablo 2, for example. Like, it's just massive. But of course you can, like, just wait for a sale. That's fine too. That is totally fine. It costs money, and money's kind of rare nowadays. I can totally understand that. Yes, I feel you. Economy of the average guy is kind of going to shit right now. I feel that too. But yeah, can wait for a sale, I guess. The Conjurer. I mean, she can play Conjurer in the base game already. Like, that's Shaman Occultist. She doesn't necessarily need to buy expansions for that, for now. I mean, to, like, properly, like, enjoy a Conjurer and, like, properly enjoy her content, she's gonna need it eventually, even for a Conjurer. But to, like, dabble into the game as a Conjurer, she doesn't need the expansions. Like, only Necromancer, what I'm playing right here, is, like, locked behind expansion content, right? Also, this guy has AoE on the ground, a big fat AoE on the ground actually, so my skeletons are actually dying. Carrion. I mean, he's not... You don't have to kill this guy, but if you kill him you get a shrine. That's kind of nice, so you kind of have to kill him because it's a shrine. Alada's Will, eh? Necromancer plus 1 all skills and level 30 and minion stuff. Interesting. Okay, so now the good thing about getting the portal from Broken Hills first, the waypoint, the Rift Gate rather, is that once you've defeated this guy down here, you can just zoom over here and continue in Broken Hills and stuff. Here's a question before I jump down the rabbit hole. Messengers, Blaze Cannon and Flesh Warped Cask, stacking, burn, scaling on Warcry. Total meme. I mean, compared to pretty much every other build in the game, it is a total meme, yes. However, it might still be fun. I mean, you're probably gonna... I mean, you're gonna, like, one-shot the entire screen when it comes to trash mobs. But your single target damage is gonna be absolutely abysmal. And if you're fine with that, and you still think it's a fun idea, then yeah. I mean, go for it. It's kind of like an AoE shout build at that point, I guess. With like 0 single target damage in a way. Yeah, I mean $60, okay, like $60 might be like cheap for you, right? And like for the average American or like European, for like an amazing game like Grim Dawn, it's not really like that much money. The game is totally worth its like full price as well. But if you're like in a unfortunate financial situation, then $60 is like a shit ton of money. Like, depending on the country as well, it's like a lot of money actually. So I can still always understand like people not being able to like just, you know. I also like really hate this like thing of people being like, just buy it, just are you poor or what? Like all this like shaming is just, yikes, I hate it. These are both kind of good, to be honest. Both kind of good. Yeah, this music is like too much, I feel like, right now. It's too stressful. Holy fuck. Let's just do this one instead. This one is more chill. It's not supposed to be like a speed leveling video after all. It's just slow in quotation marks, like fresh character leveling. Astral Mantle. Oh, by the way, either I didn't get any or I just sold them all already. But like the Cronley gang has a shoulder piece for Aether damage. And I kind of wanted to use that one. I didn't get a single one, I think. Unlucky, maybe. Okay, we put 1 point to resilience. It's kind of like a circuit breaker, like a proc, like an anti-cheat death proc. I mean, not really. It doesn't really like prevent you from dying, but if you drop low, you get like more resistances. It's not too bad. And then Rebuke adds like flat physical damage in an AoE around us, so to ourselves as well as to the sketties. So that's nice. Why is there a quest here? Did I miss something? Oh.
Come, friend, right to business.
Alright, so that one. Oops.
Come, friend, right.
There we go. For example, I'm working for like $500 a month. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like $60 is a lot of money. Devotions. Turtle. Tutel. This node is also insane, like health and DA and physical resistance, 4% even. That's absolutely crazy. Okay, we want to complete that. We did that. Now we want to complete the spider. Get a point here and then get Widow. Just be rich. There it is. Just be rich. Wise choice. Yep. Hop hop. You don't completely get it with the... Wait, you don't completely get it act system and crafting? What do you mean act system? I mean, there are no like acts in Grim Dawn like in PoE, like you don't see the word act anywhere. But there are kind of acts in this game, like Act 1 is Devil's Crossing to Warden Creek, Act 2 is Devil's Crossing to Smuggler's Pass, where I'm in right now. The troll here is the boss from Act 2 kind of. Act 3 is like Deadman's Gulch to Darkvale Gate. Act 4 is Astrakhan Road to Lagorian. Act 5 is Gloomwald to Barrowholm. Act 6 is Lone Watch to Melmoth. Act 7 is All Forgotten Gods. Those are kind of like the acts in Grim Dawn. There's 7 acts. They're not called acts though, and the word is a bit more like intertwined. Like Grim Dawn is more like a... It has more like an open world feeling than PoE in that regard, like way more. It's way heavier on like world building. That I mean, PoE has actually like really good lore and like also good world building, but like how the maps are actually set up in Grim Dawn have more of a world building feel than in PoE in my opinion. You also had to do acts in PoE before in the same way, like 3 times act. Yeah, you have to like do act 1 to 4 like 3 times before that. I mean, in Grim Dawn you have to do that like once, and then you get items that you don't have to do it like pretty much ever again. Like people say like you have to do like all 3 difficulties, all acts, all the time, on every single character in Grim Dawn. They just don't know how the game works. Like you do it once in your life that you want to. Only once. You wanna dodge this guy, but he has like heavy hitting club attacks. Superior Fervor, okay dude. If he has this in ultimate and he smashes you with this and you have like terrible armor, you're just gonna get one shot. Patch 1.2 you can play ultimate only. The patch doesn't really change anything, to be honest. The league does, but not the patch. You still have to like play as a fresh player all 3 difficulties once, and then never again. Yeah, like you still need to get the merits and XP pots. Craft mechanics? Okay, so the short answer, if you wanna like, okay, if you compare PoE crafting to Grim Dawn crafting, then the short answer would be there is no crafting in Grim Dawn. It just doesn't exist. Because there is no PoE style crafting in Grim Dawn. You find blueprints. You craft blueprints at the smith. They're just like, you collect the materials and then you click one button and then it's boom done, right? And you have the item. Then you can use components on items. You can take out components from items. You can take out items from components. And remove components from items, rather. That's the word. Yes, there's no like, you don't craft your gear, you drop your gear in Grim Dawn. Drops matter in Grim Dawn. You endgame gear, you farm it and find it. No crafting. I mean, there's like a little bit of crafting with like blueprints, but it's not like actual crafting like in PoE. And you can do stuff like if you find, for example, a blueprint for a set, and the set has like 4 pieces, for example, then you can craft like one piece of the set and you can like transmute it with like some material into another piece of the same set. That's kind of like crafting in a way as well, but it's like very minimal. Very, very, very minimal. Now if you're playing the league, the Grim Dawn community leagues, there's a bit more crafting in there that's possible. But it's also like, I think, still very minimal and like... You can like do like stuff like re-rolling affixes, for example. Stuff like that. But it's still like nowhere near as like crafting heavy as PoE is. Okay, we need to like find this one like Dahlia rather. It's like a lady in here that unfortunately died. We gotta still find her corpse and then tell the guy about it. So like search these mountain deeps maybe a bit more thoroughly. There it is, there's the star. Gotta kill Icrix the Ravener here. And then click on the corpse next to him, wherever it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, we've done this quest. And, oh yeah, skill points go into... I think I need to like prepare for my gear switch now. So I'm gonna put points into Spectral Binding and Spectral Wrath for now. Maxing out Binding first. And Wrath second. Oh yeah, there's one thing. When you like craft a item at a smith, you get 1 out of 3 bonuses depending on which smith you craft at. Like every smith has like 3 stats that he can roll 1 off on the item when you craft it. At least for like armor and weapons. It does not work for components or relics or like other stuff. But if you craft, for example, like an armor piece, you're gonna get like the smith crafting bonus of that smith. So it does matter in a way at which smith you can craft, or like at which smith you craft an item. But yeah, it's like minimal bonuses on top. Like you don't really like focus too much on it, but it can matter like a bit. It's like a nice bonus on top. Nothing too crazy either. Okay, here at the Prospector's Trail, we want to like put a portal somewhere around down here where those Briarthorn horrors are at. So like here we're gonna put a portal. And now we actually move forward north towards Homestead. Get the portal in Homestead and then port back to the person portal that I just left there. And then we can go into the Pine Barrens area, and around Tyrant's Hold we're gonna find the boss that well, it's called Rhythmic and has the pistols that I want to play. And then I can actually like finally play dual pistols. And no more skeletons. Did they change dodge animation? Yes. Compared to like the last update, they have changed it like slightly. And it looks, I mean, it's not like the best piece of art ever, but it looks like definitely way better than before. Okay. And now you want to actually have like 3 dynamite at least. If you don't have 3 dynamite, you can actually craft dynamite starting here in Homestead. But you can like go to the smith in here and craft dynamite. Actually, that's a lie. You can also already like craft dynamite in Forgotten Gods, I think. Technically. Looks a lot better, yeah. For sure, for sure. No more Mario jump. To the left of the craft button, the bonuses show. Just curious, what is the top 3 most fun builds I've played of all time? I mean, fun is very subjective. I mean, I personally don't like playing pets. I hate pets. I'm playing pets right now because they're like fun in the... I mean, they're not fun, but like efficient at this stage of the game. And very fast for Necromancer. But I just don't like pets that much in general. So I like... like I said, generally I like cooldown casters the most and like dual wield melee. So like Nightblades, something like a Spellbreaker or Reaper, for example, is super fun. And then also... for example, Demolitionist caster with Arcana secondary or Oathkeeper secondary, like a Bomberman, Sorcerer. Spellbinder is also fun if you like Scorching Ray, I guess, like Aether Ray in this game, or Devastation Meteors. Spellbinder is a fun one as well. I personally like, I don't know why, I don't like Spellbinder that much. Spellbinder is more like a high skill cap class, and honestly I'm terrible. Like, I'm not a high skill cap player, so I don't really like playing it too much. Yeah, two-hander builds are also really fun, to be honest. Like, two-hander builds are also very fun. Dual wield melee, two-hander is fun. Shield can also be fun, but it's generally a bit more boring, of course. She can't hit you with the Sunder if you just sidestep. Don't even need to evade, I guess. Yeah, Druid is very cool as well, like Chosen Sky Shard Druid. Just drop like Sky Shards on them. Totem Druid is also pretty nice. I mean, I hate pets, but then again I do play totems, which are similarly lazy in a way. But I don't know, I just like totems more than pets for some reason. Oh yeah, Promise Strike is okay. Like for beginner builds, like for quick beginner builds, you can do like Promise Strike Druid if you want to like have like lightning flashes flashing in the entire screen pretty much. And do like Promise Strike Druid. And you, for like endgame, you switch into like a Totem Druid. If you want to play more caster, like Promise Strike is always two-hand. If you want to play more caster, then you play Chosen Sky Shard. Arcanist into Shaman. Or, well, Promise Strike, Shaman into Arcanist. Or, I don't know, like I really like Cocktail and all the bombs from Duelitionists as well, a lot. People also like dual-wielding ranged pistols with Fire Strike Purifier, for example, a lot. I also play that, there's also like a beginner playthrough for that on my YouTube. And I'm gonna play another pistol build here, actually. That's gonna be another pistol build. I was not the biggest fan of pistols, really, in this game, because... I mean, while it's cool that you can do wield pistols, it kind of feels like a turret. You can't really, like, hide too well with it. However, now, on this character, with, like, Evade, Teleport, and Virus Might, it's hopefully gonna feel better, so that's why I'm trying it again. Promise Strike not strong enough endgame. It depends what content you want to do. Totems are just safer for hardcore and like better for bossing in my opinion. Prime Strike is great for like farming though. It's faster farming. And if you're playing like Druid with a gun, you're playing ranged as well, so you can like hide better as well for the melee. Yeah, like also now with evade, like dash, evade, teleport. Also like playing 200 ranged Prime Strike is gonna be like very fun, I think. I mean, even like Aether, right, where you have to... You don't ever want to walk on channeling bolts, right? You always want to like only reposition with movement skills. And now you have another one on top, so... Also Aether should feel better than before. Pretty sure. I mean, in a way, dual-wield pistols are very similar to channeling bolts because, well... Yeah, dual pistols kind of want to just not move that much either, to be honest. We have Aether damage pants here. That's interesting. It's not too bad. Okay, gloves. Let's check out gloves. I wanna... Okay, so around like this level, right? Shortly before you're gonna farm your weapons, you wanna get gloves that have attack speed. I mean, these right here have the suffix of rapid reflexes, so they have 12% attack speed. It's pretty insane. There's another one, okay. This one has 10%. I mean, 12 is more than 10, right? So we keep this one, I guess. And the prefix isn't that crazy in either case here, so just gonna go for the suffix and that's it. No, I still haven't allocated my attribute points, as you have seen. I just want to wait for the pistol to drop and then allocate points then. I don't really need them now anyway. I have enough HP, right? I have my skeletons killing stuff for me still. I don't need to face tank anything. I can just run around in circles and let's get this little thing. There's no fear here, or like no reason really that I need to absolutely like allocate my skill point, attribute points here, so yeah, gonna keep it as it is for now. 200 range is honestly better for kiting than dual wield pistols though. I like 200 range generally a lot more than dual pistols, especially before this 1.2 patch, because like orb walking like in Dota and so on, or League of Legends, feels a lot better with 200 guns than it does with pistols. Yeah, like, it's like always like why play range when you can just play force blade instead and be like mid-range but also melee at the same time. It's also true. I mean, force wave, okay, force wave is good, but there are many range builds that are better than force wave, or like just as good as force wave. Okay, now over here at Tyrant's Hold, right to the left, you would get to the quest, but actually we don't care about the quest, we just want to go right to the Arcovian Docks. And here at Arcovian Docks we want to farm a guy, a bandit called Rune. And you're gonna find him here, there he is. He can deal some pretty crazy damage actually if you have like terrible Aether, so do keep that in mind when you try to farm him. But then again, we have our skeletons tanking for us anyway, right, so it's fine. Oops. He will kill your skeletons though, actually, as you can see. He is strong enough. He's a pretty strong guy. Yep, he's annoying. He is actually annoying. Would need to cruel towards pets as well. Understandable in a way, but these are my pets. in this case. Gotta resummon some more skeletons again. Yikes. I need like more cooldown reduction on this on the skeleton skill here. My skeletons also have like no resistances whatsoever. But yeah, he's gonna have 100% gun drop now, at least one. He can also drop 2. Okay, he had 1 at least this time. Okay, he did have a very good one though. He dropped Warped of the Abomination. That is very nice. That's like Aether prefix, Aether suffix. I'm not complaining here. It's good enough. Okay, we need another one. And to farm this guy quicker and not have to like walk this entire way, you can go to the south here of Arcovian Docks, or like to the east rather, southeast, something like that. And then you might remember the one bridge from Twin Falls, where the guy said like you can't repair it. Well, you can repair it from this side now though. There we go. And now you can just farm him from this rift gate here. And how to farm anything in Grim Dawn? Well, the only way to reset the world is to exit the main menu and to load into the game again. It's obviously slightly longer than like resetting instances like in Path of Exile, but it's not that, like, it's still fine. And also with this patch, you don't have to like reapply your auras anymore. They're gonna be auto-applied. So that's like one less thing to worry about now. Just be nice. You do have to resummon pets though. You do have to resummon pets, which is a bit annoying. Leora's too OP, Rutnik's okay, Copium. Hi guys, I'm looking for ideas for your next run. Inquisitor plus something dual guns. Well, the classics would be Demolitionist secondary or Soldier secondary. Or also Oathkeeper secondary actually. Those 3 are good. So Paladin, Tactician, and Purifier. I like the best for dual wielding gun pistols. I mean, it depends like what you want to do. Do you want to do like fire? Okay, so Purifier would play Demolitionist's Fire Strike as a main ability. And then like use Inquisitor as a... I mean, Inquisitor is pretty much always a support class for ranged, to be honest. Never really a main class for ranged. But that's fine. So for Purifier, you would play Fire Strike. Let's actually move out of the fire, the Aether crap here. With the pets as well. For physical, you would play Soldier or Oathkeeper, and you can also play Pierce with Soldier or Oathkeeper or even Purifier actually. Soldier would use Cadence, Oathkeeper would use Righteous Fervor. Yeah, like you always use a default attack replacer, so Righteous Fervor or Cadence or Fire Strike, depending on your class. And you use Inquisitor with the ranged expertise whips passive, as well as the weapon pool skills like, what's it called, like Chilling Rounds, Storm Spread, and Bursting Round to like support your default attack replacer, which is Cadence, RF, or... what's the last one called again? Fire Strike. In this case, right here, as I'm playing this game right now as well, I'm gonna be using an Oppressor actually to dual wield pistols. This is no Inquisitor, but you can use these Rutnik guns here that allow dual wielding as well. Then we're gonna respec our skills and use Righteous Fervor as a default attack replacer.
I sense turmoil within.
Remove the skeletons.
Farewell.
And put points in Righteous Fervor and Consecration. Consecration is for attack speed, RF for damage. Now you want to put like 13... You always want to put at least 13, and then every 2 levels you get like another 1% attack speed. And we're gonna keep it at 13 for now. That's good enough. And we also want to pump, or like put at least 1 point as a weapon pool skills. So Reaping Strike, Necrotic Edge, and Smite. These 3 can be used with guns. And also the weapons themselves have also Aether Spread, which is also a weapon pool skill. So we have a 15% chance to use Aether Spread. We have a 12% chance to use Smite. 12% for this, 12% for this. Now how does this work? You basically like add up all chances together, right? Like 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 15 plus 15. So this has a 66% chance to use a like one of these weapon pool skills. With like these Aether Spreads having like a higher chance than the other three, of course. And a 34% chance to not use a weapon pool skill. And if you default attack, like a normal default attack has, when you do wielding, a 50% chance to use both guns, 25% chance for right hand, 25% chance for left hand. If you are using a weapon pool skill though, you are using 100% of the time both pistols. Because of that, even 1 point here is forcing the character to use both guns, which means you deal more damage, right? Higher level versions of this gun will have a higher percentage as well for the weapon pool skill to happen. 15% chance is on level 26. I think it's 20% chance at max level. So the chance isn't like really increasing it by that much, but it will be noticeable. Anyway, we got really lucky here, honestly. We got a warped prefix, which gives us Aether damage, of the Abomination, which has like also Aether damage. And we got a barbaric prefix, which is like some physical stuff, but also flat physical damage of Alacrity, which gives us attack speed. Now, the gun converts all physical damage to Aether damage on Righteous Fervor, and the flat 10 physical damage that we get from the barbaric prefix here is being added via weapon damage to Righteous Fervor, and thus being converted to Aether damage as well. So this is not like 10 Fizz and 9 Aether, it's actually 19 Aether instead. Yes. Then we're gonna use like Purified Salt and Imbued Silver here for some resistances. Let's take this one out here. Let's get it. And then this is level 30. We're gonna use these Swamp Dwellers, I think, now. Because not only do they have insane Poison Rust, but also give us like +2 to Spectral Binding, which is, well, the Necromancer skill with like OA health and Aether damage, so that's pretty nice. Which means we need this add-on back. Put it in, oops, no, this one. There we go. We could also take out the add-on here, I guess we don't need this item anymore. And now for gloves, we want to use also attack speed on gloves, which is why I saved these Rapid Reflexes one. So we use that, and then, well, if you have found a consecrated wrapping at this point, you want to use it. This is like the no-brainer because it also has attack speed. There we go. And now you have 141% attack speed, 4k DPS, not too bad for this level. You can put another point in Spider, and then we need to put a point in the Blue Crossroads and start putting points in Widow. Now also at this point you might wanna to speed up the process of getting to Widow Devotion, you can actually take out devotion points from devotions that sustain themselves. Like if you have completed Turtle, you can take out Crossroads because this already gives you yellows, right? If you have completed Jackal, you can take out this from the red Crossroads because it already gives you reds, right? Same for Spider. So now we can put a point here and put points into Widow. And complete Widow quicker than usual. When it comes to the stash here, I'm not gonna like bother putting stuff in stash really yet, except for maybe the salt bag. There we go. I'm just gonna sell this crap, right? I mean, these are decent for leveling. You can like save these for like other characters actually. Maybe these, I don't know. Then you want to check out your gear. If you have found a Mark of the Traveler, you still have not. We still have not here. Unlucky. Oh well. Terrible movement speed still. 117%, kind of low. Oh well. We sell these gloves. And we are officially a Aether, Righteous Fervor, Rudnick Oppressor now. So we are playing the build that we want to play. You feel like that's not correct? Cadence overrides every other weapon pool skill. That is correct, yes. However, Cadence is only the third hit, so hit number 1 and hit number 2 can proc weapon pull skills. Hit number 3, the cadence hit itself, cannot. We're not gonna do Blood Feast. Remove that here, okay. Let's go back to Deadman's Gulch and fetch the NPCs. Oh yeah, attribute points. Well, it turns out I didn't need Cunning for these low-level pistols at least. So I guess we can just pump Physique mostly. Yeah, why not? Get some health. We have enough damage anyway, I think. Wall of text up there. Oh yeah. So you read conflicting data on different forums and thought you might have an answer. If you dual wield guns and use cadence, when cadence procs, it does a normal attack with the offhand.
Sure you'd make it, but you pulled
So kind of
Those people owe
pull
you
skill
their
proc
lives.
the. Oh yeah.
I wish I'm going to.
Yeah,
Still
there's
haven't
some
talked to
weird things with... Yeah, true. Cadence with dual wield guns is a little weird as well. Cadence is an attack that only uses main hand weapon, right? It never uses dual wield weapons. So when you're using cadence... And the cadence hits, right? Then like the other gun, like the other hand, the offhand, I think can actually proc a weapon pull skill as well, maybe, yeah. It's like very confusing at that point. But that might be how it works. I know for sure cadence always only uses main hand. So if you're dual wielding, cadence only uses your main hand. On the other hand, you can also charge cadence quicker, because if you are dual wielding, right, and you're hitting with 2 guns, you're basically attacking twice with 1 attack. So you're getting 2 cadence charges with 1 attack. So you're pretty much like using cadence every second instead of every 3rd hit, more or less. Something like that. Or maybe it was because of like, if you hit with a 3rd hit with cadence, your offhand, since it doesn't use cadence... do I have the game paused right now? I hope so. I think so. Give me 1 sec. My monitors just died. Oh shit. Sorry. So if you have the... What's it called? If you have... Yeah, if you're like proccing cadence, right? Okay, I'm just like restart the game real quick. Set up scuffed right now. So if you proc cadence with your main hand, then your offhand can, I think, already like generate another stack. Something like that. Yeah, the offhand does not get the actual cadence attack. It doesn't get the cadence boost, it gets less than that. Like it only uses like a normal default attack. So like for cadence itself, for the cadence hit itself, dual wielding is kind of like worse than two-hander. However, you hit with cadence more often because you're charging it quicker. So cadence isn't really bad for dual wielding. Fuck, I need to do... Shit. Give me 1 sec here real quick, sorry. It's on the wrong monitor. Hello? Video. Okay, we go into the game again. Yes, let's go. Mild Dusk Gwen. Am I a Grundon developer? Classic. Okay, Mild Dusk Gwen. Well, not today anymore. It's a bit late, isn't it? I don't know. Shit, Lord can. I don't know, I mean, we're gonna see each other on Saturday anyway, I guess, right? Possibly. Okay, we killed enough eggs. Yeah, that's correct, Tarnish. That's correct. I mean, that's what's kind of like what I was trying to say as well. Cadence on, proc counts both guns or only main. Cadence only uses main hand. Cadence doesn't use both pistols. However, you charge Cadence more quickly when dual wielding. Because you get like more charges, because you're like attacking with more attacks kinda. So the Cadence hit itself is worse on dual wielding than on two-handing. But you charge quicker, so you have like more Cadence hits. This is 1.2, yes. You can see it because I have the evade skill, for example, right? This is 1.2. It's still playtest though. It's still 1.2 playtest. Hi, Gurumasa. Leave them kids alone. Oof. Yeah, you don't just like start shit talk Gandalf without getting shit talked yourself. Okay, anyway, here in the rotting croplands, the cropping rotlands, you wanna find the entrance to the Demetrian hive cluster and make the hive cluster under attack. What? That's StarCraft. Anyway, here it is. It has like a couple of spawn locations in these fields. You're probably gonna have to like farm, find, or search for it, rather, that's the word. Search for it like for half an hour. Or like you can just like look up the locations, the spawn locations on GRIMTOOLS.com as well, on the world map there. Not enough overlords. Yep. These guys are gonna be... I mean, as long as we don't kill any overlords here, right? These guys are gonna get their supply liberated, I guess. To be honest, I feel like skeletons dealt more damage at this point than fucking pistols, man. What is this? I mean, it's fine. It's not like that bad. It's decent damage. Okay, we wanna go down here. What the fuck? Why do I have a DC? What is this? Fucking German internet? Hello? Huh? It's not my OneDrive. What the hell? Oh my fucking god, dude. Alright, I'm back now. I don't know, router was like randomly restarting, I guess, or something like that. I have no idea. Sorry about that, guys. Your streams also randomly restart now? Yep. That's what you get for like working together with the German. Okay, we wanna put points in Spectral Wrath as well. So like whenever we are getting hit, we now deal Aether damage to the enemy and also reduce the resistance reduction by, well, the more points you put in here. It's also gonna like help a bit early game with like getting overwhelmed by like AoE. Like when enemies swarm you and you don't have enough AoE damage early game because you're like playing pistols, then at this point having points in Spectral Wrath like helps at least a little bit. Not too much, but like a little bit. Just a little bit. Also, we need the fucking Widow devotion finally, right? We have 0 devotion procs at this point. That's kind of like low. I don't even know why they made it that like these skills have like lower chance to proc on low levels. Like pistols are already like kind of bad early game. They don't need to be worse because of like low proc chance on reflex. I don't know. I don't know about that. And here I thought Russian internet is bad. No, dude, like German is like pretty much the worst in all of Europe, dude. Like it's Germany is stuck in the 90s when it comes to internet connections. All bad. I should just like move to Romania, honestly. They have the best. And have like a cheaper living costs as well. Swarm Queen Ravna. Oh. Well, that's awkward. When you evade, right? Then like your first attack always goes into the direction that you've been invading, towards. If you're holding down your mouse button. Right, like look at this, right? You want to shoot here after evading, but I'm holding down my mouse button, I'm like evading to the left, and then I move my mouse to the right again. The first shot is always to the left. That's kind of... Okay, if you remove the mouse button, I think then it works. But if you hold on your mouse button, yeah, if you have to remove your mouse button, like you have to remove your finger from the mouse button for like 1 second while you're waiting. Otherwise, the character is always gonna like shoot the first attack into the direction that you've been waiting into. Is there a reason why I always seem to leave some enemies alive? I mean, yeah. Monster XP isn't like the best on like individual enemies. I mean, they are worth some XP, but like usually you wanna just like kill all heroes and bosses, but like you don't wanna spend your time like killing trash. I mean, if they're like in a big group, sure, yes. But otherwise, the XP is like abysmal. The XP density is just very bad. Like you get XP in Grim Dawn through like, you know, like finishing big packs, like totems like this, you know, or completing quests. That's how you get XP in this game, mostly. You don't get XP from like full clearing the map. I mean, you get like real life experience from full clearing the map because then you know like how the map looks like, and then you've like found all the secrets of all maps. Like that's nice, and you should do that. Like if you are a new player, right, like you should full clear all maps. I heavily recommend you to full clear literally every single map in this game when you're playing this on your first time. Because there are a shit ton of secrets in this game, there's a shit ton of like side areas with like hidden chests and lore and stuff, and it's pretty nice. Just when it comes to like leveling efficiency, it's not necessarily the best to do that. But you will still never really feel like it's an actual like complete waste of time, because you're like enjoying the game, like exploring the game, exploring the maps, and it's not like in Last Epoch, for example, where you don't get anything for like exploring the map. You will always get something. It's just like what you get is like slightly less worth compared to like just rushing to like the quest objectives. But you at least always get like a chest or some lore node, and lore gives you XP in this game as well, so it's not too bad, you know, like it's fine. Also, why the fuck is this a triple rare? What the fuck? Devastating of the Flesh Hulk. Helmet. Huh. Last time your internet died 3 months ago, your ISP said maintenance. Ah shit. Yeah, then you might have had a longer disconnect than just like a couple of minutes. That's terrible. Yeah, I think we're gonna use this one actually, instead of Explorer's cover. I think it's time now to use that. Am I still denying streamer client? I mean, they buffed the rates, right? Like, what can I do? It's not my fault. They just buffed the rates. I know, right? I started my stream like 8 minutes ago, according to Twitch, and I'm already at Homestead. Okay, Charged of Arcane Balance. Honestly, this is not bad. It unfortunately doesn't have any Aether damage, but that's okay. Okay, so Devastating of the Flesh Hulk, eh? Sure. You don't want to sell this. It's a good leveling item. Right. Until you have Lokar set. It's a very good leveling item. At least for like early levels. I think I saw a Mark of the Traveler, there we go. 117 to 125 movement speed. Devotion point into Widow again. Still need 2 more for the proc, holy moly. Oh well. We can put a Soul Shard here for Vitality Resistance. Now, next map is Bloodgrove. For Bloodgrove, you kinda always want... Shit, why do I still have like a level 5 chest? What am I doing? That might be too low. Let's grab this one instead. For Bloodgrove, you always wanna like make sure to have some Chaos and Vitality Resistance. So yeah, like Soul Shard is pretty nice to have here. I think we're still gonna use Emerald and the Helmet though for now. Oh, I'm also not using Skeletons anymore, am I? Is there a ring here? This one is Chaos Russ. Chaos and Elemental Russ. Sure, let's use this ring here. Instead of that, and then put another Soul Shard. I don't have another Soul Shard. Okay, let's put another Corpse Dust then. There we go. Okay. Sounds good.
There was much
I'm kind of front-loaded on HP right now, because I still need to like put points into...
There are 2 other...
like Spectral Wrath and like Weapon Pool skills. And then also points and Rebuke for damage, so... I'm kinda heavily front-loaded on HP right now because I took like so many points in Mastery Bar until now, but now I'm gonna like put points on skills, so my HP isn't gonna change for a lot, for like a long time now. You gotta side with the order of the Death Vigil here, because we are a Necromancer already, we cannot choose Carmine anymore, but that's fine, you don't need anything from Carmine on this character anyway. That's fine. We are a Necromancer and we're siding with Necromancer just because we are a Necromancer. Makes sense. Any sick melee vitality builds to check out? I personally like the most a two-handed vitality ritualist build, focusing mostly on like Bone Harvest and like using Savagery as a filler. Or actually rather Reaping Arc. There's a relic called Uroburuk's Reaping. If you have that, you can use Uroburuk's Reaping as a like main attack basically, and use Bone Harvest as a burst in between. That's like my favorite two-handed melee build, to be honest. Like two-handed melee vitality build. You can also do dual wield melee vitality, to be honest. That is possible, however, it's kind of gear dependent as well. I mean, two-hand vitality is also a little bit gear dependent, but at least it's easier to find that gear. Ideally, you want to use the Corvin Reaping. No, Corvin, what's it called? That's like a halberd from Forgotten Gods. There's a vitality Bone Harvest halberd in Forgotten Gods. You want to get that one. And you want to get, eventually in endgame, you want to get the Blood Knight set. And you can play that on a Death Knight or Ritualist. I personally like it on Ritualist more, like Ritualist is just more damage, Death Knight is tankier. Either is fine though.
Obey this.
Okay. Let's pick up the Necromancer's quest here. How do people decide which stars to pick at current level? So generally, right, you have this devotion page here, you have a search bar up here. You can always put the damage type that you want to play in here. Like for example, in my case, like Aether damage. And you could like pick something with Aether damage, like Widow for example. I mean, every single Aether damage build will have to play Widow, because Widow has resistance reduction to Aether, and resistance reduction is one of the like primary ways to scale damage, at least for endgame. And then I'm, in this case, going pretty much always on every build early game for Jackal, because Jackal gives you the cheapest total speed in the game, which is attack speed, casting speed, and movement speed, so it's pretty much like good for every single build in the game, especially early game. Later on, if you still need it for affinity, you use it. If you don't need it, then you don't use it anymore, but like early game, you pretty much always play Jackal. And then Spider is a very popular one as well, if you need attack speed or casting speed, and if you need like green affinity as well for your, well, like tier 2 devotion, like Widow for example. Yeah. So kind of my start here is like I pick Jackal, right? I pick Jackal, and then I aim for a tier 2 devotion of my damage type and look at what it needs, which affinity requirements it has, and then pick the affinity. I like the according tier 1 devotions that are good early game, and then give me the like corresponding affinity, right? So like 6 green, Spider, 4 blue is Turtle and a point here. And in this case, I want to use Turtle anyway later on, so I really like want to like start leveling it. Alternatively, you could also pick Eel early for movement speed, or Sailor's Guide for movement speed. This one is like insane, 10% movement speed. Like Sailor's Guide, like Jackal and Sailor's Guide are like the best tier 1 devotions in the game for like starting out fresh, in my opinion. There are of course also like other devotions that give you damage, like tier 1s that have like a tier 1 proc, like Flame Torrent, or I don't know, like Bull and so on, or Tsunami. If you want more damage, or Scorpion, or Guardian's Gaze. Like if you want damage early, then these are pretty nice as well. But honestly, it's, in my opinion, like from my experience at least, pretty much always better to just get speed on tier 1s and then just aim for a tier 2 for damage. Because you don't really get movement speed early that easily. Later on it's easy to get movement speed, but like early it's kind of hard to get movement speed. And if you play a decent early game build, then you will have enough damage from your main skill anyway. Like you don't need more damage from your devotions really. So for me it's pretty much always Jackal into whatever I need for my tier 2. And if that tier 2 needs green, then it's most of the time Spider. And if you need blues, then it's, well, always Eel or Sailor's Guide usually. Yeah, going for Turtle this early. I mean, it's very defensive, good on hardcore, but honestly, if I had to respec this again right now, I would probably go for Sailor's Guide first, because Sailor's Guide also needs less points. Then you get to your Widow quicker. Like the proc of Widow quicker as well. Yeah, it's probably better. Yeah. Honestly, like, yeah, early game, like, you go Jackal, Sailor Guide, movement speed node. Okay, so you gotta put 1 point here, 2 points in total speed. For pets, you get the third node. If you don't play pets, you don't get the third node. Then you put 1 point here, you get 3 points Sailor's Guide, then you put 1 point in green, get the Spider. Then you max out Spider, max out Sailor's Guide, take out green and blue crossroads, you take out red cross as well if you took the third node here. And then you, for example, pick Widow in my case. Yeah. But it kind of like depends on the damage type as well, of course. Do I have a video for leveling a Pyromancer? I mean, I have a generic, like, how to level a Demolition Nest video, which I would also recommend for a Pyromancer. I don't have a specific Pyromancer video, but I have a generic Demolition Nest video that works for Pyromancer as well. And I've leveled a Purifier. So if you're playing like a Fire Pyromancer, you can do Purifier and Pyromancer in a similar way. Or fire damage at least, but you can also like play different Pyromancers. You can play like Pet Pyromancer or Chaos Pyromancer as well, pretty nicely. But like for early to mid game leveling, the Fire Demo or like Fire Purify that I have should also work. Trying to build Dark Blaze Pyro. Okay, yeah, so you're aiming for Chaos later, which would mean that I would personally suggest to level as Fire. Chaos and Fire have some decent overlap in devotions. Like, for example, the resistance reduction devotion, Solar's Witchfire, is shared between Fire and Chaos. So you can play Fire while like aiming for Chaos later. And what else? We gotta find the farmers. Now we already found the farmers. We already found Markadar's remains, and we found 5 insignias. And we found the shrine. Okay, so here you have 4 things, right? Shrine, farmers, insignias, and then either Markadar's remains, or you gotta kill Bolvar, this guy over here, which we also found here. If you're sided with Kindness Chosen, you gotta kill this guy. If you're sided with the Order of the Death's Vigil, you gotta find the remains of Markadar. Okay. And then you just want to go north, right? When in doubt, just go north in this game. Just go north to get to, well, where you want to go. And oh yeah, you also want to kill Bolvar because you got the Bolvar's pendant. I actually forgot about this one. Yeah, you want to kill this guy. Not for the quest, but you want to actually kill it because of the amulet. And you want to equip this one like right away. You can ignore the Siphon Souls and the Guardian stats on this one. They are whatever. Like, you don't need them on this build at least. They're good in general, sure, but like not for this build, we don't care about that. What we do care about though is like +1 to all stats for Oathkeeper. Which means we could go back to town actually at this point. And respec. Because there are some skills where you don't need too many points in. Like here, for example, 13 is enough. And here, arguably, 16 is also enough. For now, at least.
Farewell.
Eventually, you want to get this to 24 points to get like another charge level. But for now, 16 is enough. So you can like max out Spectral Wrath instead and put another point in Rebuke. And we're gonna max out this one next. And then maybe work on putting some more points into the weapon pool skills, maybe, to get the chance to proc these up. And then eventually... yeah, then we have to decide if we want to go for 32 points in Oathkeeper for Tectonic Shift and Clarity of Purpose, or if we just want to like rush for Harbinger of Souls and Soul House and Necro. And I think the latter is probably what's going to happen here, to be honest. Okay, let's hand in the remains to Master Varuf here. I guess you're playing it wrong. Really don't like the Witch's Mines. Yeah, mechanically they kind of suck. I can see that. I can see you disliking them. However, resistance reduction, at least for like endgame damage scaling, is just like... it's not an option. It's like mandatory, pretty much. That's like the one thing that I don't like too much in this game either. Some things are just kinda mandatory for damage scaling. I mean, they already like nerfed the effectiveness of, or like the importance rather, of resistance reduction a little bit in this game. It used to be even worse, but it's still kinda, if you don't pick resistance reduction, you're trolling. It doesn't really matter for like normal difficulty, but on higher difficulties you will really like feel it that you need the resistance reduction to like get more damage, at least on bosses. Without that, it's kind of... yeah, your damage is going to be kind of whack. Okay, you want to go to the left here for Grier's Mill. Right to the west. Kill all the Chthonians in here. And then, once again, just move north. And if you see a totem, these totems here are really hard actually. These are one of the hardest totems in the game, like one of the hardest totems in the game, to be honest. If they spawn like Dread Guards or Oppressors, which are like Act 4/Act 6 mobs, which you don't usually like fight at this point. We got, I guess, lucky and didn't get those mobs here, so these are easy. Yeah, when the boss has like 90% resistances and he reduces resistances by like 10%, you literally like double your damage. So yeah, resistance reduction is just... the way like ARPGs in general work, and like the way this game works in particular as well, and like the game, like the way math works with percentages, it's just strong. Not many items provided. Yeah, I mean... I think that's a good thing though, because you don't necessarily want even more of that existing in the game, to be honest. It depends a little bit on the damage type though, like some damage types need more, because on average enemies will have more of that resistance. And some others will need a little bit less, because enemies would on average have less of that resistance. Like for example, Aether doesn't need that much, because on average like enemies don't really have that much Aether resistance. But for example, Elemental needs more, or Vitality especially needs even more, because enemies will have tons of Elemental and Vitality resistance. Even like your average Joe, like Trash mob will have like tons of Elemental and Vitality resistance at some point. It kind of depends a bit on the type of enemy, of course, as well. Like, depending on the type of enemy, they will have like more Chaos or more Aether and so on. Like these Chthonians, for example, here, or like Cultists, they will have more Chaos and more Vitality resistance. but less Aether resistance, so I should be like destroying them pretty easily actually. Over here you have this shrine. You want to be a little bit careful though. You either attack this boss over here first and kill him, or you click the shrine like me and like go back so you don't trigger this boss. Because Zarya is a bit of a tricky boss. I mean, she doesn't really like look that hard, but she has a curse which reduces your resistances. Even in 1.2 she would have a curse that reduces your resistances. And she has crystals that like deal chaos damage. Well, she doesn't even spawn there, but she doesn't have too much damage. But yeah, there we go, right? These crystals here, once they spawn, if you can kill her fast, like I did, then you can just like kill her. But if the crystals spawn and you can't kill her fast, then you probably would have to kill the crystals first, or run away from the crystals. Because at this point in the game, usually you won't have too much chaos resistance, and she's also going to reduce resistances even further, and then you can die very easily to the crystals chaos damage. Or if you fight in the shrine at the same time, to the monsters from the shrine as well. So this is a little bit of a tricky,
Good, you're back.
tricky situation here,
Moshi moshi aya.
but generally it's fine. Moshi Moshi, any cuties in chat? Yo, Scrap, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back to the Bloomers, much appreciate. 18 months. 1.5 years. What the hell? Time flies. Time flies. Time sure flies. Time flies like an arrow. Root flies like a banana. Yep. What? That's Groucho Marx actually. You know the American guy, Groucho Marx, that like 1920s comedian, 1930s comedian. That is actually Groucho Marx. That's no German saying, no. For a change, it's no cringe German saying. That's an American saying. Okay, again, no like big scary dudes, just like not quite as scary tentacle dudes, which are still honestly a bit scary, but not quite as scary as the actual scary big dudes that can also spawn here. So again, comparatively rather easy totem. Okay. It was raining earlier and you're made out of sugar. So you dissolved into a solution, into a sugary solution. Pew 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 pew. Ah yeah, no totem here because we already got totem in the first level. I forgot. No more totem here. I heard you have like twice the amount of hours in Baldur's Gate than me, Scrub. What am I building now? Oh, a Rune Oppressor. Souls I found. Fresh start as well. Scuffed gear. Like whatever I find. You watched Sasha Grey yesterday? Okay. The live stream or the VODs? Huh. The stream? Okay. No JavaScript extension course. Where the fuck am I going? Oh yeah, there's a quest here. I'm going to the right place actually. I mean, playing a season is not necessarily about experience. It's just about like having more content on top. The seasons have content that is more challenging than the standard game, yes. However, most of that content is optional. Even for example, this like ambush mechanic, you have to activate first. It is off by default now, and you would have to opt in. It's not like forced in your face anymore. I mean, if you wanna check it out rather, you can download it here. No pressure, I mean, should probably like finish the base game first once at least. You have to decide between 2 years of Umschulung der Fachinformatikerin in Anwendungsentwicklung or 5 months of HTML, CSS, JavaScript course. Is that what you gathered from this other course that you were scamming? I mean, you were at Arbeitsamt today for the first time in your life? I was there once as well, actually, one time. But yeah. Okay. JavaScript course, of course.
I am told that when the Legion was forced to abandon the Glitz, I've already...
I mean, the first one is gonna take longer, but it's gonna be an actual degree, right?
You're here.
The second one isn't really a degree. I mean, did you get like proper information, like what's good on the Arbeitsmarkt? For you? Or like right now in general?
Put it to good use.
Don't want to get too addicted to the game first though. I mean, okay, like you should play through normal difficulty all of the base game first, like all the acts of the expansions as well. And then if you want more content, you can try out the season. However, you will have to make a new character for the season, unfortunately, because it's like, yeah, like the base game characters cannot really be used in the season. Unless you... I mean, there's a way to like mark... Like you basically like change the tag for in mod and not in mod with a external tool. So you can technically like copy your character over to the mod if you don't want to start fresh. But it's a little bit complicated. Fishing Hat with the 9 months. Thank you so much for the Twitch baby. Welcome into the Bloomers. Much appreciated. Okay, we aren't gonna do Tyrant's Soul, right? We aren't gonna do this one. We aren't gonna do SOT either, actually. That's like whatever, optional. We should do... I mean, the Rigs card we're gonna do at some point later as well. That's like Forgotten Gods. So we have these 2 quests now. That's a bit more reasonable. So we do the Essence for Sorrow's Bastion, which we get from... actually, not Morton's Claim. It's a Stoned Quarry, right? Why is it not on the map? Why did they not put the Stoned Quarry on the map? That's so weird. Why did they put Morton's Claim? It's like... Morton's Claim is less important than Stoned Quarry, I think, personally, for quests, honestly. It's weird. Only did AOM so far. I don't have lots of time to play. So I'm watching your streams instead sometimes. Nice, nice. I mean, Grim Dawn is a game that, like, generally I would say, like, respects your time a lot. Like, it's not as grindy as Path of Exile, and, like, drop rates are better than Diablo 2 as well. And leveling grind is not as crazy as in Diablo 4 as well.
Ah, I've been expecting you.
Hey, Medora 2, welcome on, welcome on. Much appreciate the support as well. Thank you so much for the sub, and welcome to the Dreamers. Hello, hello. Apparently in Germany, JavaScript is one of the most used languages. I mean, tons of web applications, I think, are still like JavaScript based, right? Like JavaScript is... Like everybody I know that's like working with JavaScript is like basically just cursing about JavaScript. But it's still like very widely used, and I don't know, like it's just one of the standard things. Alright, Corruption Relic drop. I mean, that's kind of whatever, I guess. Let's evade that. Let's jump back. Shit. I should have used the wait for the actual Sunder attack. Oh my god. Like, he has this slam, which doesn't Sunder, and then he has this one, which does Sunder. I mean, yeah, you can see it because his arms glow orange. For those of you that don't know, Sunder is a debuff that makes you take more damage multiplicatively, and there is no way to resist against that, so... I mean, normally it doesn't really matter, but like eventually for like endgame it will matter a lot actually to dodge those attacks. Let's put some cunning as well. Don't wanna like be left with 0 cunning. Thanks for the guides, very helpful. Glad you liked them. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being here as well. Welcome in, welcome in. Little politics, Swift ban gets me into a bad pressing state. Can't throw money into the man with streams and talks I'm enjoying. So there's multiple ways to support me. You can support me via, well, a sub via Twitch. You can support me via donations via PayPal. And you can be a... You can like be a YouTube member on my YouTube. And you can be a Patreon on my Patreon. A patron on my Patreon, I guess. Like if you want to support me and none of all of those ways work, then I guess too bad. It is what it is. Just like pointing out that there are more ways to support me than just subbing on Twitch. Which, to be fair, for me as a person, like, I'll play like with open cards here. Twitch is like the worst, like the worst share. Subbing on Twitch is still good for you guys, of course, because of emotes and because of like you not having any ads. But share-wise, it is the worst for me personally. The other options are, and like Patreon is the best. The other options are like somewhere in the between, or like just direct donations are always like very good as well. But yeah, the other stuff is like somewhere like, I think YouTube membership is like somewhere in between. Better share than Twitch, but like worse than Patreon, or like direct donations, of course. Twitch is a what? Twitch is a 50-50 split, so at least for subs. I think bits are more. Not quite remember how much, but it's more for bits. How's 1.2 feeling so far? I mean, honestly, now with like the more 1.2 I play and the more they also tweak 1.2, created this, the better it feels. Like the evade feels really smooth now. Animation feels not like Mario jump anymore. It feels really nice now. And yeah, I don't know. I personally will probably never ever go back to anything but 1.2 in the future. And there are some people that don't like Sunder or like are crying about like heroes getting harder. I think it's fine because like in the past, like Arcane was the only hero apart from maybe like Time Walk and Swift that you actually like, cared about. And now you also like actually care about Regenerator, you care about Defender, you care about Reflect even. Like they all matter now, and I think that's way better generally like for the game. It does make the game harder, yes, but in my opinion like in a meaningful way at least. And also the player has also more tools, right? You have the evade tool to like, you know, get out of sticky situations easier now. I don't know, I think it's fine. Like, enemies get stronger, yeah. But also the player has more tools to, like, outplay the enemies with, so it's totally fair. And, I don't know, what do you say? How do we say that? Shit, what was I gonna say here now? I forgot. Alzheimer's, holy shit. Yeah, the other features from 1.2, like being able to set percentages on enemy health bars, or having like higher auto-loot radius, all abilities auto-applying, like all auras rather auto-applying whenever you reset the game, all auras reapplying whenever you get arcaned, like arcane only disabling your buffs and not removing your buffs. Like there's so much like quality of life, just like so many features that like make the game feel smooth, in my opinion. Like it just feels so much smoother than before. So I don't know, like in my opinion, like 1.2 is just like superior in pretty much every single way compared to 1.1.9. But I mean, I can understand why some people like cry about some changes, but honestly, in my opinion at least, all of those changes are for the greater good of the game overall. And most of those problems that like people cry about are pretty much always solved by like, you know, just getting better at the game. It's like pretty much only skill issues in my opinion. Like in my like toxic elitist opinion, right? It's only skill issues. What the fuck is this? Okay, the only thing that I don't like with this patch is that it has more crashes right now, but I mean they're also working on stability. And to be fair, after the last update, it already get like way better with the crashes. Like I haven't crashed a single time since the last update of this patch, so it's way more stable now than it was like 1 or 2 weeks ago, for example. You wish 1.2 Grim Dawn would get this stuff? Maybe you can copy paste the code. Naomi, at some point I think you gotta play 1.2, like it's gonna be actually good. At least like once the expansion comes out. Enjoy Sunny Dusk was asking, any way of sending me the good old cash? And I guess you can do it here. That will be a way. The first link is for the league only. The second one is like mostly also for the league. It's my private PayPal, but I'm obviously gonna like reinvest much of that into like the league as well. The second one will trigger like on-stream stuff, alerts. The first one is like not doing that at all. The first one is more anonymous. Why does nobody want to play 1.0? I don't know. It does, or like it did some things in a way maybe better than current Grim Dawn. But honestly, like 1.2 also reduced the loot clutter a lot. Like loot feels way better in this 1.2 as well than 1.198. Like you have less loot overall, but it's also way less clutter and it's more quality loot, which is kind of like how it was in 1.2. You still arguably get maybe like good gear easier, and definitely maybe like too easy, and definitely like too easy than 1.0, yeah sure, but I don't know, I think it's fine. It's like totally fine now in my opinion. And 1.0 balance was like, I don't know, it was a little weird. Like, I think balance overall is better in Grim Dawn right now than it was back then. For sure. I mean, yes, there was like tons of power creep. But like, Grim Dawn still has hard content now. You just... The hard content doesn't start maybe quite as early, but you can always play Veteran, which does make the game harder. A bit at least. I don't know, at least with the expansion you're gonna have like Ascendant mode as well, right? You can play Ultimate Ascendant, like Ultimate Veteran mode pretty much. The game is gonna be harder with the expansion for sure. There's gonna be like more ways to prove your skill. Imagine playing Veteran. Imagine being a Veteran and not even playing Veteran, right? Like SMH in my head, what am I doing? I mean, The funny thing is, right, like some people were like saying, yeah, but like Crate does this and that, and like Crate only wants to like make the game easy. I feel like whenever Crate like made the game easier, most of the time it was like because of like feedback from players and not because they themselves wanted the game to be easier. And so now like with 1.2, they're like, if you want the game to be easy, just play like the old patch, or like if you just want, like just don't buy the expansion, you want the game to be easy, right? So they can be like, they can kind of go like all out with difficulty, or like more all out at least with difficulty now. Because they can always say, well, if you don't like it, just play the old version of the game, right? Because you just like download that instead. Like officially as well. It's officially supported as a download as well now. So they have like more freedom to ignore like some people that say the game is too hard. The thing is though, I'm gonna leave a portal here for this quest, the Sacred Ashes, because there's a side area over here that I want to go to for this quest. The thing is though, like, you can still play the game in an easy and lazy way with many builds. You just need to like make a pet build or like make a tank build, and then you can still do what you did before. But there are like the medium to maybe like squish, like the medium tankiness to like squishy characters. Those are gonna on average have to be played in a more skillful way because of evade. So you could say like for people that can't play those builds, like those builds were easier to play for them in the last patch than in this one. That is technically correct. But then again, I mean, that's what I mean, like it's a skill issue, right? Like just get good. I don't know. But like if you don't want to get good, then you can just like play the other characters. Or like if you have some problem with your hands because of like some sickness, which I don't envy you of. That is terrible. But you can still play the game, but like characters that don't need like as many buttons to press, or like that don't need like picture perfect or like frame perfect like evadability, you know? Like the skill floor, I feel like it's still the same in Grim Dawn. It's just skill ceiling, or like skill ceiling for certain builds at least, is becoming higher. Which is fine, in my opinion. Except ultra bosses. You can still play a tank character and kill ultra bosses face tank, like just face tank them the same way as before. You will have to spec a little bit tankier, and you will have to I don't know, instead of like kill the super boss in 3 minutes, you kill him in like 3 minutes or 30 seconds now, maybe, I don't know. Like it's still, or like, I don't know, like it's gonna take a little bit longer, yeah, because you have to like play more defensively, or like spec more defensively rather. But you can still face things. I think almost all of them that you could face tank before. Not only almost, but you can face tank all of them that you could face tank before. Just on like less builds, or like you would have to spec those builds into a more tanky variant. But then you can still do it. And regeneration, for example, got way stronger this patch. Like playing a regeneration tank is gonna be the most brain dead thing ever, and it's gonna be better on this patch than last patch actually. Without Pharma? I mean, if you don't use Pharma, then you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? Like saying without, like, not using Pharma against super bosses is like saying like, I wanna have the same damage with 1 gun than with 2 guns, right? Like, it's, I don't know, it's like part of the game. Like, just use the tools that you have. Like, you can't blame the game when you can't kill a boss when you're not using the game, you know? You can't blame the game then. These guys are pretty scary as well, by the way. These guys here, these gargantuans, they can like entrap you and slap you, and they deal tons of physical damage as well. And physical is arguably the scariest damage type in this game, so gotta be careful with those guys. You identify as brain dead? I mean, because you're playing only pet builds and like melee tanks. There's a neat little like exploit shortcut here, right? You can run around here or just go in this corner and click the door. because the range is large enough to port through for some reason. It seems like a map bug that's been there since forever, and I don't know, the product never gonna fix it. It is what it is. I think you can still do like stuff without pharma, yeah. Like, probably easily. Like Avenger Water. Like with regen buffs, I don't think he needs like pharma anymore even. Like I killed Kalagajo and Avenger Water like a year ago. With pharma, yes. But I didn't press a single HP pot, right? I face tanked Kala the entire time from 100% HP to 0% HP on her side, right? And I didn't use a single HP pot. And it wasn't like a 5-hour kill, it was like a, I don't know, like maybe a 5-minute kill or 4-minute kill. So, and I mean regeneration got buffed in general. I mean yes, Avenger got nerfed at some point a bit, but like regeneration got buffed again now, like hard actually, so I don't know. I'm like 100% certain you can still play the same build and just face tank all the bosses same way. I'm pretty sure it's possible to find like any job in IT all the time. Okay, does he Sunder? No? Doesn't seem like it. Fuck 2 years bullshit. I mean, I don't know how much you're gonna earn though after like 5 months compared to like after 2 years. And you can always do the 5 months first and then do the 2 years after, if you feel like the 5 months weren't enough. Looking like a ranged Aether Oppressor so far at least? Yes, 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 yes. I do think that with all else being equal, 1.2 is a comparative buff to dot casters versus, say, melee builds. Because of regen. Because of regen buffs. And like leech nerfs. I mean because of like also evade and sunder and so on and so on. Because of everything together, maybe, yeah. I can see that, yeah. Which, like, balance-wise, is maybe not the right direction necessarily, but okay. 1.2 makes Feathers a lot more important, though, because of Sunder. Does it? Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. The damage increase affects builds with less Feathers more. But like, I mean, it affects all builds the same, right? But resistance reduction in the past affected builds that had more so than builds that had less. And now it affects all builds the same. So Feathers becomes stronger, yes. That is kind of true. Regen, Leech Nerf, possibly ducking Sunder, and damage stopping. Yeah.
Good. You got very precise.
You're right. I mean, I feel like the new tools... I feel like most of the new tools are more impactful for melee and like channeling casters than they are for dodge, like for dot and dodge casters, I guess. However, like all of those are I think affecting... I don't know, I feel like mechanic-wise, melee and dual pistols and stuff like that get like more tools to play around with, and channel casters as well. I think like the gameplay impact is the biggest on those builds. They will feel a lot better than before. But like performance-wise, I don't know. I guess the leech nerf is like what makes it like feel bad for like yeah, not sure. Leech is still good though, in a way. Yeah. I feel like all the changes make sense now. Like, they do make sense. Like, if you look at all the changes, I think all changes are not bad. I think they're all, like, the right thing to do, in a way. But in the grand scheme of things, all together lead to... I think it's mostly the regen buff, maybe. I mean, I think evade itself is, as I said, more impactful and actually better for channeling casters, pistol builds, and melee builds than it is for dot casters or like cooldown reduction casters. However, cooldown reduction casters have like way more sustain now with regen as well, and don't even get hit in the first place, right? So, did they really like need more regen? Not sure. Okay, but like which... I mean, there's like several cogwheels you can adjust here, right? Like which one would you choose? What would you change? Like which number do you think needs to be adjusted? I think it's maybe regen being too strong. But I might be totally wrong here. But if I had to like guesstimate at this point, I would say regen being too strong. I say that while not having played a single regen build myself yet on this patch. But I have like watched like a couple of videos that are pretty crazy for regen. And I've watched videos from like people that usually don't ever consider playing regen ever. You can evade this one, by the way. This one's Sanders, I think. Or maybe it doesn't anymore, I don't know. But this one's Sanders. Hollow victory, eh? It doesn't regen, I think it's overbuffed. Yeah, I think so too. I think regen is too strong. On the other hand, like for regen, you always need like investment. Like for leech, you don't have to lose damage to get leech, right? To just like pick Dried or like to just pick Turtle, you don't really have to like sacrifice damage either. But like for regen, you kind of always have to like sacrifice damage a bit. I mean, Giant, like Giant's blood itself is okay-ish. And you don't have to sacrifice too much for Giant devotion. But if you want more regen, then you kind of have to sacrifice a little bit of damage at least, always. Yeah, guns are fun. Guns sure are fun, for sure. Standard values are high, but like, I always... Okay, like, when you look at like, I don't know, like 50% Sunder, right? Or like 40% Sunder, it's like, yeah, you take 40% or 50% more damage. I mean, yes, it is a lot. But like, is it really that much compared to like in the past when you got like resistances reduced from like 80% to 70%, you would take like also 50% more damage, right? But then again, you just geared against it and it was a non-issue for endgame. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they need to like nerf... Okay, what they also could do is they could like nerf damage on cooldown casters slash dot casters. Like you could balance it like that, right? You could like either like, you know, like buff damage on like melee or ranged and like channeling casters, or like nerf damage on like cooldown reduction casters and dot stuff. Or like nerf regen. Okay, this is fine, I guess. If you have like 35 Fuzz, it's really dumb because the effect gets amplified. What? What do you mean exactly? What is this build? It's a dual wield Aether Oppressor, which you can play as your first character ever as well. This one uses only self-found gear, uses nothing from stash. You just need to like farm Rhythmic twice to get 2 pistols, and then like build the character properly like I did, pick the right devotions, and that's it. And you're good to go. I mean, another way to balance it would be to make it easier for non-dot casters to get Fizz. Or the other way around, maybe dot caster sets, for example, should maybe not have Fizz. I mean, how does armor work against Thunder? Do we know? Did anybody like actually finally test it properly, like how flat absorption works against Thunder? Or like with Thunder? Because everything else is just like obvious, right? It's just like a multiplicator. But like with armor and flat absorb, it works a bit differently. Maybe, depending on like when the Thunder debuff applies. Still waiting to hear about that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's like the only thing that we need to know about. And then we know, okay, do we stack armor as well? Or like, is stacking armor a viable alternative for melee? Or do you kind of like always have to stack Fuzz now? Right, because if like if the damage gets amplified before being absorbed and reduced by armor, then you always need Fuzz. But if it gets reduced by armor and fat absorb first, and then Thunder takes effect, then armor is actually really fucking good. Then it's like really, really good. We're back to season 5. Okay. Oops. And I mean, when you look at the balance from 1198, then I think we can probably all agree that it would be better if armor is good against Thunder compared to if armor is bad against Thunder, right? Because at least for endgame, on average, armor is weaker than Fizz. I mean, armor is strong, but it's... If you had to decide, you would rather pick the Fizz, right? So ideally, Thunder works after the damage hit being reduced by armor. It would be ideal. Okay, let's get the portal. We left the portal here in front of the Black Sepulchre, the script over here, and we want to go in here because this one has a shrine in it. Regardless of Thunder, how important is armor while leveling? I think armor is actually very important while leveling. It is almost as important as resistances. Resistances are still more important than armor, but armor is very important. And also what is important is to get your armor absorption up to 100%. Because otherwise you take like too much damage from like trash mobs. I mean, I say that while using like a level Act 1 shoulder and like some level 24 chest, which have obviously like terrible armor. But since I have like high armor absorption from like scaled hide and ancient armor plate, I still like absorb this value from all attacks fully, so it's pretty good. I think physical resistance is actually negligible while leveling. The only exception might be later on when you like speed level alts and you're using Locar set and you have like garbage armor, then you have to kind of like get Physilis. Or like maybe like try to get some Physilis. But while like your first character, like for your first character, you kind of don't, you can ignore physical resistance until like later on into the game. For endgame it becomes very, very important. But for leveling, just having like, making sure that you have like up-to-date armor, like values that, well, you will automatically get if you like equip gear that's according to your level. Like for example this one. I should use anyway. Actually maybe not. Wait, yeah, should I? This is a weird one because I lose Aether to physical because of the Aether to physical conversion on this. However, this only affects the flat Aether I get from the guns and this. But I do not convert the physical that I convert to Aether back to physical because you cannot double convert, and this one happens first because conversion on a skill takes priority over global conversion. But I mean, I do lose damage, but I still get +3 to Righteous Fervor, which is more damage. And I do get +3 to this as well, which is also, well, more damage. But still juicy. So ideally I want one of these that have like the lowest possible conversion roll. I mean, this one is lower than this one, I guess, at least. Like this one is an actual DPS loss, right? This one is a DPS gain. I mean, either way, I probably want to use it anyway because it does give me more armor, and we were just talking about armor, and this one has, well, 71 armor, which is kind of shitty at this point. However, we should also consider resistances, of course, right? Pierce, Wit, Elemental. The other one is only Pierce. And I guess I'm fine with removing it for now. My resistances are decent either way. What's optimal itemization for Cold Reaper? Either SR set or Morganath set, or like standalone items like Frost Red Cuirass chest, Ravager Helmet, either Magi Mantle or Zentaran Shoulders, Reaper Pants or Solar Pants, stuff like that. Actually, I was like, change the belt, because belt armor is, as I said earlier, global armor. So whatever armor you get on the belt will be added to every single slot on your armor. Because the way how armor works... Oh, this one is good, holy shit. Yeah, let's use this one. Nice. What do we have here? Garbage. More garbage. Okay, so the way this armor works in this game, right, is whenever you're getting hit with physical damage, you have a certain percentage to be hit at a certain part of your body, right, like head, shoulders, chest, arms, legs, and feet. And the armor that you have, for example, in the chest, will only give you armor rating for the chest percentage, right? However, armor that you get on the belt will be added to all 6 slots. So getting armor on the belt is 6 times as effective as getting armor anywhere else. Which is also why components with armor, like anti-venom salve, should always go into belt first over every other slot in the game.
Bring me back something interesting.
Yeah.
I'll give you a good
That's
price
how it
for
works.
what's got left.
Delving deep enough to the endgame Shadow Realm. Let's see why Shadow Realm armor set. Yes. SR is Shadow Realm. You can buy the full Shadow Realm set at Shadow Realm 60. What does SSF mean? Yo, Charlie the Snowman, welcome. SSF means solo self-found. I would rather call it actually character self-found in this case. This means that whatever gear I'm using here, I'm only using what I find on this character. I pretty much like made a new save folder which resets all my stash, all my blueprints, so I have nothing. I'm playing this as if I literally just like bought the game. At least like progression wise, obviously I know the game a bit better than that, but progression wise you can do this as well if you just bought the game. You can do everything that I'm doing right now if you just bought the game as well. So yeah, that's kind of like what SSF Fresh Start stands for. GRIMTOOLS is a great comfort ARPG. Hope we get a new playtest on Saturday like last week's. More testing. Yeah, Escapist, welcome on. I agree, that would be nice. Let's see what... But to be honest, I feel like... Okay, they would need to like maybe balance numbers a bit, but other than that, the playtest is in a pretty decent spot now already, I think. Like they fixed most of the crashes, I think. They fixed evade most, like... Generally, I think they fixed evade. I mean... Some fine-tuning maybe, sure, but other than that, they kind of fixed the weight. Yeah, Thunder will need some more work, probably like some number tuning, and especially like some monsters like still need like better telegraphed animations in my opinion for their like Thunder application. Yeah. At what point do you aim to max out all of your resistances? At the very latest, at the end of normal. And then for Elite and Ultimate, I try to like keep them maxed at all times, even with like the penalties kicking in. However, there are some acts that like need a bit less. Like for example, it's almost always fine to like not have maxed out Chaos Rush in Act 1 and 2, even in Elite and Ultimate, as long as you're like not doing the side dungeon at the Burbage outskirts, right? The side dungeon here with Salazar, the Depraved Sanctuary. That one is really rippy, and you shouldn't go there unless you have like capped Chaos and Vitreous, at least on high difficulties. But if you skip that one, which is like totally optional, then you don't really need Chaos Rush for Act 1. Aether is also... I mean, generally you could say like the top row is more important than the bottom row. Vitality being like the most important from the bottom row, I would argue. You kind of want to like get maxed out Aether and normal for Mammoth. You want to get maxed out Chaos Rush for the rift between Barrow Home and Lowwatch. And for this act you want to have like Elemental and Acid maxed. I mean, for the vanilla game you kind of eventually just want to like have Elemental maxed and like maybe Poison kind of high and Pierce also not too badly. Yeah. And like for higher difficulties, generally like just try to have everything capped. Ideally even stun, but I mean that's not always that easy. Unpickable Veggie, welcome. By what point do you aim? Oh yeah, that was the question that I just answered, right? Okay. Yeah. I think for Act 1 you also don't really need Pierce resistance that badly. You can get away with like sub 80% Pierce Rush for Act 1. The only guy that like deals Pierce damage, or like the only people that, like the only enemies that deal Pierce damage in Act 1 are some of the Rift Scatterers, I think. But you can kind of just like kill them / dodge them rather easily, and they are not like hard enemies anyway, really. And then Warden Creek with his crossbow attack, right? Which you can ideally also either cheese in a way so that he never uses it, or just dodge it, right? But then for Act 2, right, for the Outlaws, you kind of want like Pierce Rush high and, well, even more importantly, your armor high.
Work down that we cannot sit.
But yeah, when it comes to order of importance for resistances, I would say definitely Elemental, most important, then probably Poison, then like Pierce and Vitality are like almost the same, I feel like. And then Aether and Chaos, and then Bleed is the least important one in my opinion. And the reason why I think that is not necessarily because it can't be scary, it can be very scary as well. But it is only dot, right? It is only damage over time, it is never instant damage. And, well, you can always pause, exit to main menu against dots. Or like trying to out-leech it, try to out-regen it. I'm in public transportation, I'm gonna spend 10 seconds of the volume cranked, use the time wisely. Yeah, okay, Plank, welcome on, welcome on. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. It's time to get Anasteria's Pantsu here. Get her Pantsu. And pew pew a bit. Okay, what do we get here? Maniacal of the Boar. Alright. That is kinda trash. No Aether damage. Rolled Chaos. Pause damage has only 1. Resist on it. Could be better. Oh well. I mean, eventually for ultimate you also want to have 80% bleed, of course, but yeah. Bleed is only dot, so if you don't have it capped yet, keep remembering that you can just cheese it. With either like log out or like healing, leech, regen, etc.
Took you long enough. The cult of it appears that the
Your phone said no, but you said yes. Nice. Yeah. Drop rates are, honestly, I think they're like for endgame balance, I feel like it doesn't really matter too much, or like rather you could even argue like the changes are bad when it comes to like drop rate balance. However, for new players, I think the change is absolutely amazing. There's like no discussion. Because before, like, a new player could have like killed a mob, right? And he didn't know he even can drop a certain nice item. But now he will always see the item and he will always know, oh, this guy can drop that item, right? So for like a new player, I think the change is amazing. Okay, let's max this out after all, I guess, since we have like so many plus skills to RF. Not yet at 24 though, not yet at 24. I wanna go there, get there rather eventually. We destroyed Western and we're missing Northern and Eastern. Okay, so Northern has to be here. Since it didn't spawn like up here. And then the Eastern one is obviously gonna be in the east. Somewhere in the east. All of these have like multiple spawn locations after all. One being like over here, one being like up here, and I think one being also up here, just like in a different position. Or maybe it's only like 2 positions actually. It might be only 2 per blood wagon. Hop, oh shit. Yeah, hop against the environment is kind of scuffed. I mean, you like hop with your face into the wall pretty much. I don't want to do that. If you're like facing the environment, you want to use your movement skills instead and not the hop. In your previous PC, half of this map was broken? Wait, what? You can always verify your game files, right, in Steam. Re-download the game. To fix any issues you have. Oh, Torment. That is a Necromancer relic, is it not? Not really, it's just like a Vitality relic. Well, that's not what I want. I think I wanted Mortality as the relic that I want. It's a tier 2 relic that either we're gonna get it, or if we don't get it, we will just target farm it from a vendor, which is, well, it's guaranteed and it's super easy to do. However, for that we need to get to Act 6 in Mammoth over here, so it's gonna take a while. The stream and mod were okay, but we were getting crushing textures around. Oh, you mean like checker marks? Like just terrible textures? Oh, in season 4? Yeah, maybe you had like a corrupted file somewhere. Yeah, but the seasons there were like some issues like that at some point. I remember it as well. Yeah. There were some issues at some point. Should be fixed now though. Hop, hop, hop. Hop, hop, pew, pew. Okay. I like how they totally didn't take our idea of including all shrines in all difficulties. Yep. I mean, to be fair, there's still some areas that don't have a shrine in normal. Like, for example, the Stonered Quarry does not have a shrine in normal. But it's fair, I think. Actually, you could argue that maybe that one should be removed as well on all difficulties. Maybe, not sure. Because it gives, like, Vigil, like, an unfair advantage in a way. Like, there's no shrine in Fort Heron, right? And to be fair, it's like there's enough shrines. There's enough shrines. I think like with FOA, they should just remove that one. Like FOA is gonna have more shrines, right? So should be gone, I guess. How often am I planning on renewing the weapons? Whenever I feel like I don't have enough damage anymore. I should probably like check GRIMTOOLS for the like levels at which they can drop, like the levels, like the higher level versions, like which levels they have. It's probably gonna be like level 40 as the next version, right? Rifle or 2 pistols? Answer depends on the build. Both have like their advantages and disadvantages, I would say. Okay, he's just a caster that can cast like a curse. It reduces resistances. So if you have like terrible chaos and Vitras, it's gonna hurt a shit ton. And also he can spawn minions that also have a curse that also reduces resistances and that stack with the one that he has. So you kinda just wanna like, you know, burst them down. So with the pistol build, like just go close and like shoot him in the face. And then once he spawns his minions, you wanna walk away. Now this was here though, Logorian. I mean, you wanna watch out for the new Sunder. Rather, you wanna dodge the acid spit. And this one, that's like he glows orange and then he like throws out. Fuck. I literally got hit by the last ball. Okay. He throws out like purple chaos balls, right? And those can apply Sunder. They wanna get, not get... Yeah, just don't play the game like me. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Exactly. It's kind of tricky though, because like one away like doesn't take care of all the balls really. Oh yeah, and if you're in melee, he also does like the acid spit. And he can also do like a different like melee swing attacks, which would hurt more, so... Actually being at like medium range, I think it's probably best for ranged against this guy. Like for a pistol build. You got popped by the Logosi one time? Okay. Oh, still easier than the chick at the gates. Chick at the gates. Oh, you mean Bloodlord Thalonus? He's a dude though, isn't he? Wait, which gate? Oh, you mean Zarya? Darkveil gate?
You've returned. So
Yeah, I mean Zarya has also like crazy resistance stuff. Okay, so we have done the base game. One side quest here remaining. Let's do that real quick. Next would be the Ashes of Mammoth expansion. Or Forgotten Gods expansion, whichever you would like to play first. I mean, you can play Forgotten Gods at any point after doing Act 1, right? At any point after one Krieg. However, if you don't need to go there for gear purposes, I would generally rather suggest you to only do what I did right now, like get the movement relic, and then proceed with the base game first. Because on average, Forgotten Gods is a little bit harder than like the base game, so difficulty progression wise, you wanna do the base game first and then Forgotten Gods later. Apart from, well, the introduction quest. She was the main reason why I don't play hardcore. The crystals. I don't know, I literally like never died to her. Like ever, I think. I died to Locksmere. More than once though. Like Locksmere was like my hardcore killer in the past. But Zarya not so much. You need to like respect her resistance reduction and the crystals though, and you need to not fight her alongside the shrine though, and then you're fine. Like it's never Zarya alone that kills you, it's always a combination of either her and her crystals. Like with the crystals zapping you when you have like 0 chaos rush. Or like the shrine being there on top, and like maybe like mobs from the shrine also reducing resistances on top even more. And then it's like you have the aura from like the Harbingers, for example, plus Bloodsworn Curse from Zarya. And then like crystals zapping you. I mean, yeah, then you get kind of like one shot. That's like normal then. But at that point you have like disrespected all the debuffs in the game pretty much. So I guess you kind of like deserve to die, one could say. Anyway, we've killed enough here. I could full clear this place, check it out. I'm not gonna do it though. Not gonna do it though. Oh, Logosi also like spawns shoulders, right? Or like gives you spoders, like shoulders, spoders. Which can be really nice. I think affixes in this case kind of suck though, so... It has 8% offensive ability though, that's kind of huge. Not gonna lie, that is huge. That is huge, 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 huge. I want to upgrade gloves, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna write attack speed in here. So while your bag does not have a search bar, you can put a search, like something that you wanna search for in here, and then you search, you sell rather your items, and it's gonna highlight all the items that have attack speed, right? And then whatever has attack speed and you wanna use, you can just like buy back, right? Nope, gloves with attack speed there. Unlucky, I guess. Oh well. But yeah, use the search bar. Yes, the game has no search bar in the bag, but use the search bar in the stash, or like in the selling window rather than the shop window instead, to your advantage. Okay, I think I have Rebuke maxed, Righteous Fervor maxed, 13 points in Consecration for attack speed, 5 points in Smite, up to 5 points, you get at least 2% activation chance per point. So higher value. After 5 points, you get only 1%, so lower value. So we're gonna stop here for now. 1 point Presence of Virtue, 1 point Haven, 1 point Resilience for like Circuit Breaker. Ascension is really good as well. I'm not gonna use it yet though. Later. 1 point Virus Might for movement. Tectonic Shift could be used as well. But like that requires 32 points here, so yeah. 4 points in Reaping Strike and 4 points in Necrotic Edge. Again here to get at least 2% activation chance per point. Now we only get 1% per point, so less effectiveness. And then we max out Spectral Binding and Spectral Wrath. This one for flat Aether damage, percent Aether damage, health, and away for literally everything this skill provides us with. And then this one for resistance reduction. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now the next things we should do is aim for Soul Harvest and Harbinger of Souls. Now Harbinger of Souls has already attack speed and Aether percent damage as well. So this is going to be useful for us no matter what. However, Soul Harvest has no percent Aether and no flat Aether, so we will need conversion gear first before making Soul Harvest like actually useful. And then also at some point you should get Omen for like damage reduction on enemies, and Mark of Torment for like more absorption as well. So these two are defensive skills. Honestly, not needed for normal. You can play them if you want already to get used to like pressing them, but not needed at all, to be honest. I'm gonna basically now only push all the way to 50 points here and get Harbinger of Souls. And then after that, fill out my skills. This will mean that I'm gonna get a shit ton of HP, but luckily this is not only HP but also like Physique, Cunning and Spirit, which will give me OA via Cunning, DA via Physique, and percent damage via Spirit. So we're getting like some of everything here at least, but it's not that much. And it's mostly gonna lead to me having like way too much HP for whatever level that I'm gonna be at that point. But it's gonna be fine, honestly. I mean, nothing else really like gives me damage right now anyway. Except for you could like put points in Presence of Virtue for like OA, but that's kinda it. And you could be tanky with like Ascension or like Omen, but again, you get like a bit of both by like just pushing this tree here. Damage and tankiness, and once we get to this one, we're gonna get like huge damage, so that's what I'm gonna do next. And for devotions, we have currently, finally, we have Widow. We're gonna bind us to Righteous Fervor. We have Jack of attack speed and total speed rather for moon speed. Spider for attack speed, and Turtle for like defense, and of course all of them for affinity. And we're gonna make our way next for Hydra. Hydra is a ranged only devotion that only works for ranged abilities, or like ranged weapons rather. And this will add like just OA, flat damage, like flat physical damage that we convert to Aether, Leech, attack speed, all damage, attack speed. Very offensive rather devotion, and also Leech devotion. So pretty nice. And for that one we will need more purple. So we're gonna go for Wraith first. Wraith is gonna be the one tier 1 devotion that I'm gonna play here to get 3 purple. I'm not gonna need more than 3 purple on this build, so this is gonna be enough. And this actually gives us like some Aether damage as well, so it's not even that bad. So we play this, then Hydra, and then we're gonna work towards Korvac and Ratosh eventually, which will mean we're gonna get Lizard, Dryad, and Eel. Yep, pretty much that. And those will allow me to pick, well, Korvac and Ratosh. Yep. Alright, that's gonna be it for episode 1 here for this Rhythmic Oppressor. It's like fresh start, characters self-found, leveling. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you around on the next one.